Wonderful. Well, happy Saturday at 7 o'clock. So we're getting on. Today's going to be a little bit different day. Not so much, not necessarily, well, kind of like a question and answer, but not so formally that. But I want you to, sometimes I purposely kind of just stop for a second so we can really make sure that we are not just acquiring a bunch of true and obviously important information, but also always remembering why we're here, which is to acquire the information, but then apply the information, right? And to be able to apply it in our everyday lives, right? With everything, with everything, right? And sometimes when you're applying, when you're acquiring new information, knowing where and when and how to apply it is just as important as the information itself, right? So it's important that we hold on. Let me look at that. Um, all right, okay. So so just stuff like that, right? So let me start off with this. So I'll say this. How can we? I want you to think of how whether I ask you or you tell me. I want you to think of how you can apply what we're talking about to, let's just say today, maybe a particular area of your life, a particular area, a particular person, a particular instance, or whatever else it is. So let me start off by saying this. If you're unwilling to change, right? If you're unwilling to change, you will stay the same. If you keep changing, you'll stay the same. If you're unwilling to change, you will stay the same. But if you keep changing, you'll stay the same. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I think sometimes in our human mind, we think because we haven't spoken to someone for a while that you think, wow, it's been 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. So you call them, you're like, well, what's new? Right? You're thinking something must be new, something must be different. What's going on? And they're like, oh man, nothing, same old stuff. And it's like, wait, what? Right? And they're like, yeah, same old stuff. And you're like, for real? And but the same old stuff to them are the things that they don't like. So they're unwilling. So saying all that to say they're unwilling to change. They're unwilling to change who they're being to have a different experience. But then, but they also change so much they can't change who they're being. One day they have it, one day they don't. You're changing so much you can't change. In order to change something, you have to have a constant. You have to have a constant, right? If you want to jump off of something, you have to have something stable to jump off of, right? If you want if you want to be able to change something, there has to be a constant from which change is possible. So I am is constant, right? What does it say in the book? I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. That's a constant, right? From that constant, you can change. You can reimagine yourself. You change. You went from 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old. You're changing, but you're changing from a state of constancy. There's still a consistent, constant platform that allows all the other things to be true. So think about it like a tree. The root stays the same. The base of the tree stays the same. Now the leaves come and the leaves go. So its expression is able to change, but who it is being that allows all those changes of expression must be solid, right? What if the leaves fall? What if the leaves fall off? Okay, nobody has a problem. But what if the branches fell off? Would that be a problem? Or what if the tree fell down? right? If every fall, the whole thing just fell down, there's got to be some part of this that's going to remain as it is to allow other things, other aspects of it to change. Does that make sense? Right? So it's kind of almost like a paradox. People don't really think about it, but it's true. If you are unwilling to change, you'll stay the same, right? We understand that part. But the other part that most people don't think about is if you keep changing, you'll stay the same. If one day you're happy, the next day you don't. One day you're happy, the next day you're in the dumps. One day your business is great, it's the best thing you've ever come up with. The next day tariffs come, so it's not going to work. If it's one day you have the best partner of all time, the next day it's all hell. I can't wait for this food to get out of the house. If it's one, like all of the extremes that we go through every single day, we keep changing and wondering why things don't actually change. We're never in a place long enough for them to actually be changeable. You're never there, right? Most of us, most of us go, so saying that to say, so when we are talking about what we're talking about, right? Understanding how to think in order to live well, we have to understand that every physical thing you see first started with a thought. So everything that you see in your five sense realm or world started with a thought that you didn't see. There's no everything that's true for everything, anything, whether it's a person, a place, a situation, a circumstance, a condition, or a thing. All those things first started with a thought. All of them, a concept, an idea, something invisible, something you did not see. So everything you do see started from something you don't see. So then everything you do see, if you like it, then you keep it by keeping the thought. Keep staying the same in your thought world. If there's something physical that you don't want to see, then you have to change your thought. You can't change the thing because the thing is the outcome of a thought. So as long as you try to change the thing while keeping the thought, the thing will either remain or will return. It will either remain or return. Now, the key word, the key part of remain or return is the prefix re. Re, R-E, re. Re means is the same thing as remind or remember, right? Remind, remember, return, remain, the R-E. The R-E, the prefix of that word, right? What does that mean? Remind, return, remain. What does that mean?
Again.
Again, okay? What again?
To do something again?
To do what again?
Good question.
Yeah. To do what again?
Whatever the thought is.
Correct. Correct. Nothing exists without consciousness, without the thought. Nothing. So when you're saying read, that means you're actually thinking that thought again. When you woke up this morning, you are reading everything. So everything you see, you have read. You have RE'd. That's the only reason it exists in your world. The reason that you created it is because of a thought. Well, what do you do when you recreate? What do you do when you reheat? You just cook over that food again. You cook that thought up again. You remain, you remind, you remember. It means you rethink. It means you attach your consciousness to that again. Because that's the only way that thing can exist is with consciousness, is with your awareness. You have to continue, in order to keep a physical thing alive, the thing that makes it alive must remain attached, right? It must remain attached. So it doesn't matter whether you have a $10,000 lamp or a $2 lamp. If there's no electricity, what does it matter how expensive or cheap the lamp is? It won't matter, right? With no electricity, the cost of the lamp doesn't matter. You need electricity to power the lamp, right? So no matter whether a thought is so-called good or bad, without consciousness, without you reading, whether it's either if you're going to create it or you're going to recreate it, you're going to put your consciousness in it or you're going to reattach it, remind or remember. It requires consciousness to create or for it to remain. You have to keep thinking that thought in order for that physical thing to remain an expression in your world. So when I say, if you are unwilling to change, right, you're going to stay the same. So if you're unwilling to change, what?
Your circumstances will never be different.
No, but what do you have to change? What makes a circumstance?
A thought.
A thought. And I don't mean a thought like a passing one. I don't mean a thought that just came up. What do they say? We think 70 to 80,000 of them a day. So I don't mean that. What I mean by thought is the one that you think, the one that you've embraced, the one that is dominating, the thoughts you think the most, consistently, the recurring ones. Right? So what creates a circumstance? Your dominant thinking, the ones you think the most. Every thought creates a circumstance, but each thought is overruled by the thought you think more. So your dominant thoughts are the ones that are creating what you call reality, the ones you think the most. It doesn't matter why you think them. It doesn't matter what they are. It's just the fact that you're thinking that thing. The ones you think dominantly. But just do a little thing for yourself. Do a little experiment tomorrow morning, just out of awareness. When you think about what you think about first in the morning when you first wake up. When you wake up in the morning, maybe write something down next to your bed, just so that you can remind yourself, like when you first wake up, have like a little notepad by you, by your bed or something, and just write down maybe the first couple thoughts you think. Do that for a couple days and you'll realize how things are on repeat more than you realize. And so you're fighting your outside world, or you're negotiating with it, or you're bargaining with it, or you're hoping, or you're begging, or you're wishing, or you're wanting, but the world you see is because of the dominant thoughts you remind, remember, repeat, reheat, the ones you keep going over and over. When you go to sleep and you wake up, you're literally waking up to a new world. Every day, literally, even if forget any type of, how can I say it? Like, I'm trying to keep this as simple as I can. When you wake up to a new world. Why is that true? That is true. Why is it true?
Because it depends on what you think for the day.
Well, okay, but think about it even more simply. Why
It's
is
the present. The day before is gone. So the new day, the present, is the new world.
Has there ever been a day like today? Has there
No.
ever been today's date? Right?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's literally a new world. Is that right?
Right.
So then the only way you could have the same problem today as you did yesterday is by what?
Reliving it.
Living in the past.
So I tell people, and I have to make sure I say it a certain way, I tell people this to emphasize this point. Every time, now I'm talking about your mind, right? I'm talking about your mind. Every time you go to bed at night, take everything off. Detach all the titles you hold. Mom, dad, brother, sister, friend. Take all of that off when you go to bed, right? When you're going to bed, take all that off. Because all those things are just attachments and titles. The only thing you really are is I am. It's just consciousness. You're just consciousness. Now, those titles that you attach, you feel yourself to be because you attach them. But they're not you. They're just things that you're being, doing, or having. You could be a mother. I'm not saying that you're not really a mother, but what I am saying is that's still not who you really are, because you haven't been a mother your whole life. At 9, you were alive, you weren't a mother. You didn't have a driver's license. All the things that you think you are, you're really not. You just believe yourself to be because you've attached yourself to them. Right? So when you attach yourself, because you are life, you give life to what you attach yourself to. So it's real. Right? But electricity is real. The lamp is real, but the expression will never be able to work without electricity. So if you unplug it, the lamp stays, but it doesn't work anymore. right? Because it's dependent, it's reliant upon electricity. Electricity is reliant upon the lamp to express itself, but not to be. Electricity is no matter what, but it uses the lamp to express itself. I am is no matter what, but it's using Laura to express itself. Laura is the first AI. Because humanity is artificial, right? The human body is artificial. Only with the breath of life that God gave it did it become organic, let's say. But it is consciousness living through the body. What is a computer? Consciousness living through a computer. It's another form of expression. It's another way to express itself. Laura is another way to express itself. The sun is another way to express itself. But it is I am Laura. I am Veronica. I am Gavin. I am Leanne. I am is. Without I am, there is no Leanne. Leanne is a physical expression of awareness. I want to do something. I want to see, so I turn on a lamp. I want to do this, so I create Leanne. Leanne is the physical expression of my thought, of what I want to do physically. I want to see, so I turn on a lamp. I want to be this, I create Leanne. I turn on a Leanne. How do I do that? By breathing the breath of life, by saying, I am this now. That is breathing the breath of life into whatever it is you want. When you say I'm not, you're now taking life away, because I am, you are life itself. Everything that you think is life is being made alive by you personally. What happens if we all left our house, all of us left our houses right now, and we didn't come back for 3 years? What would our houses look like? What would people call those homes?
Abandoned properties.
Why are they abandoned? The building's still there. Everything on the outside looks the same. Why are they abandoned?
There's no life.
Nobody lives in them.
There's no life. Your business is just like a house. It's based on who's in it. If there's no life in it, meaning if you are your business, right? Your business is a reflection of you. So if whoever you're being, is being pumped through your business. So your business can't fail any more than a house can abandon itself. It's only expression of whether something living in it still remains or doesn't, or how the thing living in it acts. So you can abandon a house, right? It looks terrible. If you go into a hoarder's house, it looks terrible, but there's someone living in there. But the being living in there is not thinking as properly as they probably can, and the house suffers. When you're not thinking as properly as you can, your business suffers. When you're not thinking as properly as you can, your body suffers. But your body and your business are only physical reflections of you. You can leave them, they cannot leave you. Your body can't be like, you know what, Alexis, I'm about tired of the way you think, and I'm about to go do my own thing. Anybody ever seen that happen? That ever worked for anyone, right? Like, yeah, it doesn't work, right? So it's the same thing. Everything you see in your physical world is a reflection of your internal consciousness, dialogue, conversation, what you're aware of being, even if that's unaware. Aware is still aware. Unaware is still aware. It's just a lower level of consciousness. But you are aware. If you're conscious, you're aware, even if that means unaware. So there's no getting away from it. There's no timeouts in this game, right? We have to learn this on the run. Like you see those marathoners, right? They're running and they're eating snacks and drinking at the same time. I mean, you can slow down and stop if you want, but shoot, it may cost you, right? And if you're trying to win, you can't afford that. Well, in this experience that we're having, everything is on the run. But this is literally a new day. Literally, like we talked about a minute, this is literally, this day has never been. This is not like, oh, it's a brand new day. This is not like a Hallmark card or some kind of, no, this is not that. This is a literal truth. This is a brand new day. This day has never been before, ever. You've never been here and it's never been here. So how could you have a problem already? How could things be bad already? How could you have debt today? How could anything be if this day has never been? Unless you're bringing yesterday into it. You're reminding and you are reattaching. So when I tell people, you know what, when you go to bed, detach all the concepts you have of yourself beside I am. Because I am is the only one that makes all those concepts happen anyway. So you don't need any of those to be you. You need, those are expressions of you should you choose to, but they're not you. So take them all off. Then when you wake up in the morning, consciously decide what you are going to attach back, what you're going to reattach, what you're going to remind yourself of, remember. Actually do that exercise. Do I want to be that today? Because today's not going to ask you, hey, where is it? Has anybody ever heard the day say, hey, where are you going? Tuesday ever call anybody and be like, hey, what's up? Right? The day doesn't require you to be anything. So everything that this is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Right? This is the day that you actually made to rejoice and be glad in. You made this day to be here and do something. So why don't you choose what that is? Why don't you pick? So when you wake up, consciously attach what it is that you want as an expression of yourself. Just like you put your clothes on consciously, according to where you're going or not going, or whatever else it is, put your awareness on of who you want to express yourself as consciously. Dress yourself in your mind like you do on your behind. Don't you think about what you're putting on? Don't you consider where you're going? Don't you, what time you have to be there? And the weather outside. Well, same thing. You attach to yourself and say, who do I want to be today? How do I want things to go today? This day has never been here before. You are literally as new as this day. The only way this day feels the same is if you're thinking the same. So people say, when you say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, same day, same stuff. Well, that just lets you know they're thinking the same way, so it is the same day. Because your thinking determines, creates your day. That's the day that you're going to have. Just like when you go to the buffet and you go and you put all that food on that plate, nobody's sitting around, you're not sitting around wondering how it got there. And why do I have to eat this? And just be grateful. Why would you sacrifice when you have a choice? You're sacrificing when you have a choice. So when people talk to me about sacrifice, I'm like, that is the dumbest word of all time. It's the most ignorantly used word of all time. People sacrificing is what humanity requires. That's not what I am requires. And you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to do this. This is my Alexis card. Delaware Alexis, not Nebraska Alexis. This is my. Let me go back and do a little thing that we did. We actually did this on this call maybe 2 years ago, but we're gonna do it anyway. All right, we're gonna do it again. All right. So remember when we used to go to the carnival and we used to have those swings that go around and around, right, with the motor on top? Remember that? So here it is, right? Here it is. So these are all the swings, right? And these little seats that you get in, you go around a circle. I did that in high school. I had a brand new outfit on. It was like a Friday. I had my sweet outfit on. I went in one of these and was laying on the grass, throwing up in the grass. Messed all up. Outfit messed up. Swag messed up. My whole reputation was just sad. It was just serious. It was a serious situation. I'm laying face down on the grass. Just outfit just tore up. Veronica, I do not need it. I have this very emotional situation. Okay, very situation. All right. So these are the swings, right? Okay. What is this up here?
I am.
Say it again.
Is that I am?
Correct. That is your I am. That is the motor that makes all of these things go, right? All of these are dependent on this. This is not dependent on these. This is not dependent on these. These are dependent on this. This is I am. Now, what are these things right here?
Jesus,
People.
Monique, Sparkle Bailey.
Okay. And we said people. Okay. So all the names and the people, who are they in relation to this?
Expressions.
Exactly. So they're not Monique and people. No, they're not. That is why this gets messed up. When you start thinking that you're this, Monique, and all these other things, you literally start doing this now. You start cutting yourself off. You start prodigal sonning yourself. You start separating yourself from the source, personified as the Father. You start separating yourself from your awareness, thinking that you're just this. But you're not just that. You are an expression of that. This comes out of that. This comes out of that. This is an expression of that. Like rain is an expression of a cloud. This is the expression. So now you're this. I am. These are all of your expressions. So everything that is being expressed here comes from I am. Everything. Does that make sense so far? Nobody down here got here on their own. Nobody bought their way in. Nobody's a billionaire or a millionaire. Nobody's white or black. There's no racism, sexism. Everybody's linked up to the same thing. Everyone. There are no advantages or disadvantages. Okay, so now, if we are all expressions of this, who gets to tell each other who they are? If this person is talking to this person, and this person says you're stupid, who should this person listen to?
They should listen to I am.
Do they?
No, most times.
What do they listen to?
The outside noise.
Who is that?
Them, they, other.
Yeah. Who is that on here?
Who's that on there? The people sitting in those seats.
Right. They're in the same there. So the only difference between them and you, you're all sitting on this seat. The only difference between them and you is location. They're a different expression than you, but they're all coming from the same source. So they're not greater or worse. They're not better or less. They are just a different expression. Just like caring for you. You are a business owner. You are a mother. You are a sister. You are business owner, mother, sister, friend. Same thing, different expressions, different aspects of yourself. So how could one be greater or lesser than another? Right? They're all coming from the same source. They're just different expressions. So then here's what happens. When you start listening to this person or that person, you get in trouble. When you start wanting to be like this person, you get in trouble. This right here made you to be you, made this to be this. That is why comparing yourself to someone is literally not only stupid and ignorant, but it's impossible. Do you think this and its omniscience and its all-knowing made you and wished you were like that?
Mm-hmm.
You see what like this is old school, like third grade teaching. I know we don't need any fancy technology. This is like third grade right here. They make and I am as God. So we would all agree God is perfect and everything. You know how we say it, right? God is good all the time. We say it all and it's all good until it comes time to tell the truth now. Now you got to start living it. It's Tuesday. And on Sunday, you got a great relationship. On Tuesday, you over here a little bit, By Thursday, you over here. And by Saturday, the day before, you wishing you were somebody else. You wishing you were Beyonce and Riri, wishing you were Luther. You wish you were made to be this, and now you're way over here. You're like Castaway. You done floated 15 islands away. And perfection, the perfection that you are, decided to express itself and made you, and now you done went way over here wishing you could be her, wishing you could be him.
Mm-hmm.
How silly does that look? Do you think this perfection right here decided to express itself imperfectly? So do you think you were made imperfectly? But you know how you make yourself imperfect? By cutting yourself off. You know how you do that? By doing this. By doing this. The arrows now, instead of going up to remember who you are, you start looking around at everybody else with you. Well, what did he say? Well, what did she say? Well, what does he think? Well, what does my mentor say? What does my pastor say? You mean the same person that's on the swings with you? You mean them? What do you mean? What did they say? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? What do you think? How do you feel? See, I don't mind talking crazy to all you guys because I don't want you to be me. I'm not trying to turn you into me. I'm not trying to get you to think like me. I don't want you to be what I want you to be. I want you to be what you want to be. So I don't mind telling you, that is stupid. What is wrong with you? Because I'm not trying to turn you into something that is good for me. We don't have an outfit on. There's no special t-shirt you got to have on here. There's no special way you got to sit. No, I want all of you to be you. You. I don't want you to be him or you to be her or him or they. I don't want that. I want you to be you. You. Individual. You. I want Leanne to be Leanne. I don't want her to be Christina. I don't want her to be Latoya. I don't want her to be Karen. I want Marcus, my brother. I want him to be him. That's why I don't. He'll tell you when I talk to him, like, look, man, not today. Not going to do that today. Right? Because I want him to be him. I want him to know that he is perfectly made. What does it say? Be you perfect. Be you perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. You are connected to perfection. The swing, when the swing starts going around, when the swing starts going around the circle, did the swing do that?
Mm-mm.
What?
No.
No.
Motor
Hello?
did.
There's a lot of people on here. Did the swing do that?
No.
No.
No. So then when it tells you to be perfect, it's like saying, be perfect. It's like saying, go around. When I hit the switch, you're going to go around in a circle. It's not something to do, it's something to be. All you got to do is allow it. All you got to do is go around in a circle. Be perfect. It means, perfection means, means completely, fact means to do or to make. You were completely made. You were done and made completely from here. And now from here, you expressed yourself in physical form. So all you're doing is being your expression. You were designed complete. From completion, you were designed perfectly. From perfection. It's not something you have to chase, buy, be. It's just something you have to allow yourself. You have to start identifying yourself as, I am perfect. I am whole. I am complete. These people talk about perfection differently than this. You were made perfect up here. These people didn't make anything. They haven't made anything. They're right here with you. They're coming from here just like you. But the problem is, if you keep looking this way, you'll get cut off from here. You forget who you are. And that causes everything. That is basically sin. That's ignorance, ignorance is the cause of all sin. Sin meaning error in mind. You miss the target. You're not thinking properly. That's not judgment. But your ignorance, just like they say in business and in society, but especially in business, they call it ignorance tax. Ignorance tax. You pay a cost for your stupidity, for your lack of knowledge. It will cost you. It's called an ignorance tax. When you cut yourself off, when you go, just like Alexa and I were talking about this week, when you go on the x-axis, when you go horizontally, you have cut yourself off. When you go vertically, you're attached. You're hooked up to the source. This is where I am the Lord that healeth thee. Your awareness is the law that heals you. Your awareness of being. That's where health comes from, here. It expresses itself in all kinds of ways. Health, vitamins, water, medicine. Where do you think all this stuff came from? I am. It expresses itself differently according to who it's believing itself to be. Some people need medicine in a moment because they need to get their body under control so they can get their thoughts under control. Their body's in so much pain, they need a respite for a minute. So Tylenol, chemotherapy, ice, vitamins, whatever it is, until you can get your mind under control. But make no mistake, those things are not health. You are health itself. I am. Your awareness is health. And if you are unaware of being healthy, you can't express it. How do you think anything here is not what it made it? Do you think this is just like I'm on my own? I just got here miraculously and I just got, no. This is an expression of that. All of us are those little circle things in this body form. We're those little circle things. We're the swings. All of us are looking at each other. We all got here from the same way, from the same awareness. Whether we are one awareness. Doesn't matter how many swings are on there. It's one platform swinging them all. It's one consciousness swinging them all. It's just a consciousness believing itself to be something different. Consciousness believes itself to be something different called Leslie. Then it believes itself to be something different called Sparkle Bailey. Then it believes itself to be different, something called Priscilla. It literally is one consciousness believing itself to be something different. Nobody has an advantage or a disadvantage except the belief that you do or you don't. Every physical thing, every physical swing comes from I am. Comes from here. It is powered from here. When this shuts off, the swings don't move themselves. When I am steps out the body doesn't move itself. This is what it is. And so when you spend all your time horizontally, what did he say? What did she say? What did the lone people say? What did this people say? What did they say? When you spend all your time down here, what you think you're going to get? What do you think is going to happen? Right? That's what happens. When you go vertically, I am. When you remember who you are, that's your source. That is your umbilical cord. That's you. You're attached. I mean, any kid make it here on their own? I'm sure all you mothers would never agree with that. Like, oh, absolutely not. Right. Well, that's how I am feels when you think you're out here like some kind of cowboy, like you're some kind of outlaw, like you Tupac out here. You're not. You didn't get here on your own. You didn't just miraculously show up. No. But you're not on your own either. You're not by yourself. I never leave you nor forsake you. Never. I'm nearer to you than even your breath. You're not left alone. But when you keep looking at all these people, you'll start feeling like it. I mean, all of these are from the same thing. Tell me who the imposter is. I'm awake. Tell me who that is.
Coach Lucky, you the best. You the best. I'm over here laughing. Because the imposter is at the bottom. The imposter is all the identities we sign up for. And when we forget I am, we neglect I am. And we forget that I am is the identity. We really believe we're all those titles at the bottom. We really believe that. So the imposters are at the bottom. We're comparing ourselves to all these other people, worrying about what they think, how they view things, trying to be like them and copy them, but they're all imposters. So,
Yes, in a certain way, but no in a larger way. And here's
okay.
what I mean. But I'll let somebody else. Who is the imposter? Who is the imposter here?
Those who are
I
in the horizontal position.
Okay. Who else was going to say something?
am.
I am is the imposter. Who is the imposter in this diagram?
The ones cut off.
Okay. Okay. So so let's go with that. So if you're cut off and you're the imposter, so if you're cut off, it led to you feeling like an imposter. But how can, when somebody says imposter syndrome, who was the imposter here? In this part, who is it?
The one at the bottom.
Which one?
All of them.
So then how can you be an imposter and somebody else not be then? It's either all true or it's not true. All of you came from this same thing, right? So all of you are the same swings. You're different expressions, but you're all from the same thing, right? You're all hooked up to the same thing, right? So who is the imposter?
There is no imposter.
There is no imposter. How can this circle tell this other circle you're an imposter? Based on what? Did this circle get here on its own? Is this circle not connected to that? Is this circle over here just doing its own thing over here somewhere? They're either all imposters or none of them are imposters. Because they all come from the same thing. They're all expressions of I am. So an imposter syndrome is literally you have started thinking this way, forgot who you were, and now you are subject to all manner of foolishness. Now you can just believe anything now, right? You can just start because you're cut off from reality. You're cut off from the truth. How can you be an imposter if you got here the same way somebody else did? How can you be an imposter and I am is your God, is your Lord like everyone else? You are being governed by that, your awareness of self. That's literally like you go to the carnival and one chair is like, I'm better than the other chair. Based on what? Why would you want to be the other chair? Based on what? Imposter syndrome, that's not even a real thing, but it's a real thing because you are reality and you made it up. You made up from from stability, from truth, you can tell a lie. From stability, you can change into anything. You can make up all manner of foolishness. Failing fast, failing up, failing forward, foolish. Imposter syndrome, foolish. It's going to take 2 to 5 years to make money, foolish. It's flu season, foolish. And if you keep doing foolish things, sooner or later, you are a what?
A damn fool.
A fool.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
A whole fool.
What do you want me to tell you? You can't keep lying, meaning, and not in malice, but in ignorance. You can't keep telling an untruth and thinking you're going to be free because only the truth sets you free. So if you're not telling the truth, the only other option is a
Falsehood.
So truth leads to freedom and falsehood leads to
Destructions.
Slavery.
all of the above. Take your pick. Take your pick. You probably felt them all in one moment or another, right? You feel destroyed. You feel enslaved. You feel trapped. You feel lost. You feel anxious, worried, stressed, nervous, sad, angry, lost. You feel everything because you're cut off. You're cut off. Can you imagine if this thing is going around and then this gets severed? Do you know what's going to happen to that chair? It's going to go flying off, right. It's going to go flying off into the atmosphere. And then when it's laying on the grass or the cement, what's going to happen to it? What is it going to do for itself?
Nothing. It can't.
Nothing. So when you cut yourself off from your awareness, what do you think you're going to do for yourself?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Is that what are we aware of that?
I'm not gonna lie.
There we go. I mean, somebody tell the truth. And I know we are. I'm being facetious, obviously, right? But that's why we're here, because I want to impress it upon us enough where we understand why things happen to us. We're always looking for why. And then a lot of times for why, it turns into blame, or then it turns into guilt, or it turns into shame, or it turns into I got a phobia, or I'm nervous. Now I'm an introvert. Now I'm a imposter. Now I'm this. Now you would just make up all kind of manner of just stupidity. It's ridiculous. But guess what? When you're lost, you got a whole lot of room to roam. When you're lost, boy, you think, I didn't know Disneyland was this big. When you don't know where you're going, right? When you can't find your car. I remember Veronica will tell you, I don't need her to tell you, so Veronica, I don't need your help. Thank you. I was at an outlet a couple years ago, and I walked in one way, and where I thought I was going wasn't where it was. So then I finally found it. But when I walked out of the store and got the bag, got my stuff, when I walked out, I was totally turned around. I didn't know where the car was. I'm literally walking up and down the aisles. So I get to the point, I get so frustrated, I call her. I'm like, hey, I can't find the car. And so, having a Tesla, she was like, oh, just go on the app and it'll show you the location. Man, that was Jesus. I was calling Jesus right then. I was like, hallelujah, praise the Lord. I was calling Jesus right then. That was my salvation. That was my out. Right? And so I finally found it. I was like, oh God, thank God. I wasn't even tired or out of breath, but I was so emotionally exhausted. I felt like I was out of breath at the car. I was like, oh God, thank God. Oh God, thank God. I was rubbing the hood and everything. I was looking at the license plate, making sure the car was mine. I was, I was never so happy to see something that couldn't talk to me or nothing. Car didn't say nothing. Wasn't even glad to see me, but I was happy, right? I was lost. I was turned around. I was separated from something. Right? When you separate yourself by looking at all these things horizontally and not looking up, meaning being aware of who you are in you, when you keep looking outside, you get lost and you will stay lost. Because once you look inside, then you'll have a better understanding of outside. There's nothing wrong with outside. You have to understand that outside is made by you. And when you are looking at what you made to define yourself, it's almost like you're now wanting your creation to take care of you. And it can't do that. My car couldn't take care of me. I'm paying the bill and everything, putting tires on, doing everything. And it's just sitting there quiet, knowing I'm lost. It didn't come help me. It wasn't Knight Rider, didn't come find me. Right? So the thing that I created can only do what I created it to do. I didn't design it to heal me. I didn't design it to come save me. I didn't design it to give me advice. I didn't design it to do that. So it can't do what I didn't design it to do. So when you're looking outside, you have to understand who you are so you know what to look at and what you're looking for. You are the creator of everything you see. So therefore, if you don't understand that, you don't know what you're looking at, what you're looking for, and then you're trying to place responsibility on things that it's not capable of being or doing. That's not even why you created it. I am created the car for me to ride in, not to come talk to me and raise his hand and be like, oh, I'm over here. Didn't do that, right? So I had to find another way. So I called, and somebody in their right mind was my salvation. That's what it's not about the person, it's about the mind. That's why I always tell you, when you're meeting a person, you're really meeting a mind. You're meeting a flesh thing that contains a collection of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. You're meeting a mind. And with my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, I didn't know how to find my own car. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. All the sexiness went out. Oh, I'm smart. All that went out the window. Help. I felt like I was 9 years old. Help. Right? And so I had to get access to a better performing mind, or a mind with more knowledge, understanding, more information, something. And that was my salvation. Your higher mind is your salvation. That is you. All of that is you. Your human mind and your higher mind. Your higher mind is you. Your human mind is yours. Your higher mind is you, right? I am. I am. That is you. Your mind, your human mind, your brain, that is yours. That is something you're using, just like you use your car. That is something you're supposed to have control over. But what do people say? Oh, I just can't help it. Well, then who's supposed to do that exactly? Right? You are, everything you see in your physical world is the outcome of a thought. Thought is creative, the physical world is created. You cannot change anything in the outside world without first going to the cause, the creative aspect of yourself, which is your awareness of being, your thoughts. That is the manufacturing plant. That's where everything is created, right? And creation is finished. So what I mean by creation is selecting from all that exists. You can select any thought and it become physical form. Everything in physical form was just first a thought. So your life is nothing but a thought away. It's not hard to change. We tell ourselves it is, so we make it. Collectively, collective consciousness, meaning society, we have all these rules. So we tell ourselves money doesn't grow on trees. It's hard to change. Oh, it's hard out here. Oh, these old jobs ain't nothing. Just over broke. This over that. There's people with jobs that ain't just over broke. A lot of people with jobs that ain't just over broke. It ain't stopped them from getting off. Why'd it stop you? There's a lot of people who are successful entrepreneurs. It doesn't stop them. Why is it stopping you? You are what you believe yourself to be. And you believe yourself to be a lot of foolishness and think you're going to get some kind of goodness out of that. Foolishness never turns into goodness. It just doesn't work out. It's not math. It's not like two negatives is a positive. Foolishness and stupidity don't work out to glory. It just doesn't work like that, right? You have to choose this day who you serve. You have to choose which thoughts you are willing to say, this is the one I'm going to think. This is a brand new day. You've never been here before. This day has never been in existence before. It's not like it's just new for you. It's new for everyone. So then whatever you reattach to yourself this morning, that's why your world looks the way it looks. Everything. Have you ever, I don't, maybe some of us have, I have seen a person who knew a person for over 40 years and they got Alzheimer's and didn't know that person that they knew for over 40 years. Did not know them. You're the same body. They're the same body. You've known each other for 40 years. How long does it take to know somebody? So how could you forget? It goes to show you consciousness. That when your consciousness no longer is recognizing something, the body doesn't matter. How long you knew before doesn't matter. If you leave a lamp on all day, if you come home at the end of the night and unplug it, doesn't the lamp go off? Does it say, you know what, I've been on all day, I think I'm just going to stay on? Does it do that? Doesn't matter how long you know somebody. As soon as you unplug the lamp, as soon as you unplug your consciousness, you no longer know that thing. That's why I said at the beginning of the call, remind, remember. Your memories are only real because you keep attaching your awareness to it. Otherwise, it would be dead. It only comes to you because it cannot live without you. No thoughts can live without you. How many dead people in a cemetery are thinking? How many of them got problems? How many of them are stressed out? How many of them are happy? They're neither, because stressed out and happy are both just thoughts. They're emotions that come from the thought. They're just thought. So then, if you're not conscious, you can't have a good one or a bad one. So that means there really are no good ones or bad ones. They just are what they are. And you have to choose the one that you want to be a physical reflection of you. You cannot create a thought without consciousness, and you cannot remember a thought without consciousness. So your consciousness requires the creation of it or the reheating of it, the reminding of it. So, and just like we're all mature enough, can't you choose what you eat? Can't you choose what you cook? Can't you choose if you decide to recreate it? Most people that know me know I'm not really a leftover person. I'm just not, that's just not really my thing, right? Not good or bad, it's just not my thing, really, right? But I'm grown, so if I don't want to eat leftovers, I'm not. Well, if you're grown, you don't have to think the thoughts you thought yesterday. That's just nothing but a leftover. You're just reminding, just like I would have to reheat. You have to attach the power to create again, just like you had to use it to create initially. You heat it up to cook it, you reheat it up to eat it again. You heat or reheat, heat. You think to create, you think to remember. You're reattaching your consciousness. You don't have to rethink anything you don't want to rethink anymore than I'm not going to reheat most things. It's not doing it. It's just not my deal. You're grown. You don't have to do that. You don't have to think today the way you thought yesterday. This is not positive thinking. This is not some kind of motivational camp. This is not no service, no seminar. This is not that. This is understanding how you create, quote unquote, your reality. You are reality and creation is finished. So how do you create your reality? You are reality because you are the creator, and the reality that you think you're creating is already finished. So creating means selecting. You are selecting the physical experiences you have by your dominant thoughts, by the things you keep thinking and telling yourself. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, it's hard. Or, oh, I'm brilliant. Oh, I'm beautiful. Oh, I'm smart. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. This is how it works for anything and everything. What you apply it to is different, but how it works is not. This is how you do anything. This is how you're doing everything now. We're not making up anything new. We're just bringing awareness to your awareness, making you aware that this is what you're doing, and you don't even realize it most of the time. Most of us don't realize because we came in this world being able to think. We came in here doing it. So we basically got a car with no driver's license, no driver's ed, and we out here just getting it. That's literally what we're doing. This is the most powerful machinery on the planet in existence, is your consciousness. Because from everything that we ever have or will be or do comes from there. Right? Comes from there. So anything that you want to physically express in your world, this is how you do it. What do you want? You start saying, okay, then that's what it is. That's how everything was made. Having that conversation again with Alexis, I said, if you have to see it before you believe it, how do you ever get an iPhone? If you have to see this before you believe it, how do you ever get it?
You don't, because you don't visualize it.
So where did somebody come up with that stupid idea? I'll believe it when I see it. And why do people repeat it? I mean, we all have heard that before, haven't we? Just think about how ignorant that is and the fact that we've all heard it. So when the book tells you, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, you should take it seriously. It's not a religious, judgmental, critical thing. It is a truth in the game of the mind, understanding how this really works. You can't believe anything. You can't see anything before you believe it. Before you imagine it, before the idea comes, you can't. What are you talking about? So if you're unwilling to do that, how do you get that thing? If this has to be here first before you create it, how do you get this here before you create it? If you can't believe your business is a success before you see it, how do you think that's ever going to happen? If you can't believe you're healthy before you ever see it, how do you think that's ever going to happen? If you can't believe that you can have a great relationship before you see it, how do you think it's going to happen? I'll wait. A lot of you on here maybe got something to tell. A lot of you, I know you're all smart ladies and gentlemen. I'd love to hear it. I mean, Just even the most, it just goes to show you it's not about good or bad. The most infamous people, the mob back in the day, went from the East Coast to the desert of Vegas and built casinos. When they first got to the desert of Vegas, what do you think they were looking at?
Desert.
Desert. So what they saw, how would they believe it if it was based on what they saw? So then they're not using sight. Then you're not using that faculty. You're using vision. You're using your imagination, the eyes of your imagination, the eyes of your awareness to say, oh, I can imagine that. I can see that. I can envision that. I can see it. That's how all things are created. Nothing's created by sight. You can't see it. Before it's created, how are you going to create it by sight? How are you going to create your business by sight and you can't see it yet? How are you going to create your wealth yet and you can't see it yet? You can't see it. You won't see it until it's in your hand. But if you wait to see it, it will never come in your hand. If you cannot envision, if you cannot imagine, if you are unwilling to envision or imagine, if you're unwilling to identify yourself, call yourself, identify with, if you're unwilling to do that, you are going to stay as you are. You are going to be dead in your sins. Meaning you are going to remain as you are in your ignorance, in your error of thought. And somebody has to show you and prove it to you. If you're waiting on your five senses to prove, if you're waiting on your five senses, you'll be waiting forever because your five senses are waiting on you. The casino didn't build itself, did it? The buildings didn't resurrect up out of the ground, did they? Vegas didn't come out of nowhere. Somebody had to build that. So what you see is a whole city of thought. You're seeing awareness. You're seeing the word made flesh. Somebody had to say, yeah, I can see it. Their word became flesh, became a building. This goes for anything. But the reason we keep waiting, because guess what? We're talking and it's good. And today, guess what? Everybody's like, yeah, I'm just going to ask I got it in me. I just, yeah. And then Sunday, it's like, yeah, and it's good. Yeah. And then Monday, it's like, yeah. And then Tuesday, it's like, man, you know, what did he say? And then by Wednesday, it's like, oh, hell. Oh, this ain't going to work. Oh, by the time the Saturday call come back, boy, people in here limping, it looks like a triage unit. I might as well open up a little emergency room. Give me some little sirens on the top of the building or something. People limping in, crawling in. Like, yeah, I know what you've been thinking. You know what you've been thinking? What they've been thinking? What your mom said, your brother said, your cousin said, your mentor said, your boss said, your friend said. You ain't looked up once. You ain't been here yet. But they said it, and this said it, and that said, oh, well, let me tell you what else. And then the market told me, and then COVID is out. You know this, you done stayed on this whole x-axis. You done stayed on this whole horizontal line. You haven't been vertical yet. What do you think is going to happen down there in hell? You're walking around listening to a whole bunch of people who are literally on the same ride as you. They swinging around this ride just like you. They're not better than you. They're not smarter than you. They're not inherently. Yes, they may have more wisdom because they've been trained. They have information. That's not what I mean. But I'm saying that's not even the information we're using. We literally think people are organically, categorically just better. Oh, he's so smart. Any smartness they got came from here. Aren't you attached to the same thing? Any smartness came from here. Aren't you attached to the same thing? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes.
What? Hello, who else?
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds so good on Saturday. No, that sounds good. I mean, you sound, what I'm telling you, sound like an angel. So just wonderful. Yeah, well, guess what? It's Tuesday. And what do we got now? You sound like angels on here singing. Oh, yes, hallelujah, yes. On Tuesday, it sounds like an alley cat. What? I don't know.
We got voices in our head.
I agree with that.
right? It's literally just this is controlling everything. Why don't you listen to it? Why don't you talk to it? Why don't you have a relationship with this? You so worried about your relationships down here, and this is the one controlling all of them. This is making this what it is. If you change this, it changes that. If somebody got an idea to paint the color, to paint these chairs red, the idea comes from here. Now this chair that was yellow is now red. What is this chair going to do about it? What? Am I speaking American? Am I speaking English? What is the chair going to do about it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just gonna be a red chair.
Right. It's gonna
It's
be
just going to be.
red.
So if your boss hates you and you feel like this is whack, then guess what you need to do? Go back up here and say, from here, I make all expressions. So then I am going to rearrange. I'm going to get the idea of a red chair now. My boss loves me. I have the best relationship ever. My boss tells me they can't do without me. What do you think your boss is going to be able to do about it? You're not talking to them. You're talking to you. You change here and the expression changes because the expression is coming from here. This doesn't have any free will on its own. This is an expression of you, who you're thinking, believing, and feeling yourself to be. When you change that, the expression of yourself changes. But no, you have these lines, you cut yourself off from here because of the way you're thinking. So now you're just down here wrestling. This is, you know what? This is what you're doing now. I'm just so good at this, I can't even take it. This is what you're doing. This is what all of you on here doing now. Here we go. This is what you're doing. This is what y'all out here doing now. This is what you guys doing to each other.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is you. This is you at work. This is you in the grocery store. This is on you giving them a piece of your mind, telling them off. This is you cutting people off, flipping them the bird. This is racism, sexism. This is all of it. Go and take a look. Take a look at yourself. At least get a good outfit. After this, you should go to the store and buy you an outfit if you're gonna do it. Because you on TV. Yeah, this is you. That's you. That's you. That's you down here. When you have cut yourself off. When you started listening to what he said and she said and they said and it said and we said and they said, that's you. This is how you act. This is how we act. Like some animals and some savages. Because our peace is gone. We're cut off from peace. All of the stuff that we want is up here. And we over here wrestling down here, trying to squeeze it out of them. They just as broke as you are, just as sick, mad, unhappy, and disgusted. Why do you think you both fighting? You both feel the same way. You just didn't know the other person felt it, and they started it first. But you got no problem finishing it. Yeah, you guys down here doing this because you're cut off from here. This is where peace is, happiness is, health is, success is, joy is, all of it. And it's expressed here. Then this has no say. This got to go the way, the only reason this got here is because of you. The only reason it's going to stay is because of you. So this is you in physical form. This is your thought. This is your expression. Now, if you want to keep going out there wrestling, my brother used to love watching WWF when we were young, right? I wasn't into that much. I liked the Karate Channel, Bruce Lee and all them, Kung Fu Theater on the weekend. But we used to watch it sometimes, but that's what we're out here doing. Jumping off the top rope on everybody. Giving everybody a piece of our mind, yelling, screaming, mad, blaming everybody. It's them. They don't like me. It's this. You don't understand. And this, and it's that. And Trump gonna get me. And Kamala this. Or other Democrats this. All you doing is wrestling at a whole bunch of. You're in the pig pen. You're the prodigal son in the pig pen, just rolling around with a whole bunch of pigs and dirt, and thinking you're justifying yourself because you're dirty and sweaty and stanky. But you're still in the pen. You ain't out. That's what happens when you're on this axis all the time and not looking up. When you're not aware of who you are. When you're not telling yourself what you want things to be, how things are. That is your nature. That's the way it's supposed to be. You declare and decree. You choose. But we're not choosing. We're letting life choose, so to speak. We're saying, well, looks like, well, they said, well, okay. Well, if you're unwilling to make the investment, don't look for no dividend. There ain't no return coming. Right? What are you thinking? You're adults. We're all adults. What are we thinking? What are we telling ourselves is true? What are we allowing ourselves and accepting and assuming? It's a brand new day. Tomorrow's going to be another one. But tomorrow don't matter. Yesterday only doesn't either because I am is only present. First person present. That's all you are. You're thinking about tomorrow, you're thinking about it right now. Thinking about yesterday, thinking about it right now, in the present. That's all you can ever be is in the present. So who are you being? That's why yesterday doesn't matter. Circumstances don't matter because they are not capable of stopping you from you making a different choice.
Mhm.
That's why they don't. They matter if you don't know better. They matter. That's all that matters. Right? But when you know better, you're like, oh, okay, this is something I don't prefer. What do I prefer? Oh, okay, well, I'm going to choose this now. That's why it doesn't matter, because you can always choose something else. You're never in a position that you can't choose something else. It may look like it, it may feel like it may sound like it. Every inch of your physical being may tell you that you can't change it. I understand all that. Get it and agree. I understand it, but it's still not true. You still always have the ability to change who you're being because who you are doesn't change. Who you are does not change. I am. I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever. Who you are, your true nature, who you are doesn't change. But you can always change who you're being. You can always change your expression. You use the stability to now create the change you want. From my ability, stable ability to be anything, I now have the ability to be anything, everything. What do I choose then? Are you choosing or are you having it chosen for you? Most of us are allowing things to choose for us because everybody does. Okay. Well, unless your name is everybody, I think you might have made the wrong choice. You choose. This is on you. This is up to you. You have the power to choose. But this all goes to this is a lifestyle. This is a style of living. This is not a cult. This is not something you got to listen to what I'm saying and do wear this or wear that. No, this is a style of living, meaning this is a way of living that most people aren't aware of or much less good at on purpose. Most people are just out here, they don't realize it. Most people are living in Vegas. They just gambling all day with everything. Gambling with their life, their health, their relationship, their money, everything's a gamble. Why do you think people are so stressed out? Why do you think people are so anxious and worried and nervous and scared? Why? They're just out here gambling. They're literally living life like this. Come on, 7. Come on, 11. They're literally, everything is to them is luck, hope, wish, wait, maybe, I hope so. What? Let's see how the day goes. Ever hear that? We'll see how it goes. If we'll see how it goes, who's we? We will see. Who is we? Who is determining how it goes? Who's we? Let's see how it goes. Well, if you don't know, who can I ask? Because you know, help. You gonna say that about your own life? Let's see how it goes. We will see how my life goes. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We are powerful, but we give our power away to so many things we feel powerless. We're like, man, why am I so tired? I know. Why am I so stressed out? I know. Why am I so worried? I know. You have consciously, but not consciously, but unconsciously, you have disconnected yourself from your source. You're like, you're not paying attention. You're out here going like this. You won't sit down and be quiet. You won't talk to yourself with any type of sanity. Oh, I'm so clumsy. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm so, what? Oh, I'm always just, what? Don't even realize what you're saying, how you talk to yourself. But if people talk to you the way you talk to yourself, you would be at the WWE would be on within 10 seconds. 5 minutes before, you'd be like, oh, my leg hurts. 5 minutes later, you'd be going off the top of your hood of your car with an elbow just like this on. If people spoke to you the way you spoke to yourself, you would lose your mind. But you do it all the time and don't even realize it. And think it's okay. You're just telling the truth. You're just being honest. You're just being realistic. You're just going to keep being what you are. You're unwilling to change. You're just telling the truth. So you're just going to keep it. It's inevitable. Then there's no reason to fight it. Let's just stay as we are. Right? You are anything. You are everything. You're all that is. This world is waiting on you. It is at your beck and call. It's at your feet. This earth is your canvas. This is for you to paint. This is your instrument for you to play. You choose. The trumpet doesn't choose. The canvas doesn't choose. The piano doesn't choose. You choose how you want to play that trumpet, how you want to play that piano, how you want to work that canvas. That's what the greatest musicians do. They own that instrument. The greatest painters, they own that canvas. The greatest mechanics, they own that wrench. They own that car. They own it. You have to take ownership of your life and of yourself, of your awareness, of your thought life. That is what's creating all your physical things. This is not optional. This is not debatable. This is what it is, whether you like it or not, know it or not, or believe it or not. And it's a lifestyle, it's a style of living. This is not a get out of jail free card. This is not lottery. This is something that you have to do every day, all the time, because you are the creator. Let's just go back to the old school God. What if God said, I quit? Damn, they got sad. They're like a funeral in here.
Well, it would be all over for us. No more breath of life in our bodies.
So then what do you think happens when you quit?
There's no more breath of life in our ideas or our thoughts.
Say it again.
I said there's no more breath of life in our ideas and our thoughts.
So then what happens if there's no more breath of life?
Death.
And y'all don't know when I know you quit. Oh, I can hear the quit in your voice, boy, like it ain't. But you dress it up. You got perfume on it. Cologne on it. Oh yeah, you didn't put your best outfit on. Ain't took a shower in 2 days, but you got this outfit and some cologne on like nobody goes, come on, man. I know when you quit. Your reality knows when you quit. Your awareness knows when you quit. When you've given up and given in. But if you give up and give in, the ride is up. I am, and there is no other. That's you. Christ in you, the hope of glory. What is Christ defined as in the New Testament? The power and the wisdom of God. The power and the wisdom of awareness. Christ in you. You have a power and wisdom. Your awareness in you is your power. It is your ability. El poder, right? The power. But it means also ability. I have the ability to. I can. You have the power and the wisdom, the know-how within you. It's lying there, right there within you to do, be, or have anything you want. And you say, I quit? What? It doesn't get any better than that power in you. What does it say? If my God before me, who could be against me? What can be against me? Who or what can be against that omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence? Who is going to overthrow that? How can you lose? So why would you believe in losing? How can omniscience, how can all knowing, omnipotence, all power, how can all knowledge, all power lose? How could all knowledge and all power fail? Why would you believe in losing or failing? Why would you let those words come out of your mouth with an F? Why would you do that? Why would you believe in that? Only the belief in it is why you experience it, right? Because I am is the creator of all things. I am had to create that belief. You had to create the belief of loss, but from the place of winning. So you think your default is losing. Your default is actually winning. What is your default in your body? When you don't feel well, what happens? What are you trying to do? What is your body trying to do?
Get back to health.
So then what's the default?
Health.
So how can health be the default, but failure be the default on the other end? How could poverty be the default? How well can you live when you're poor? It's tough. It's going to be tough. If default is health, then everything that has to be going on there. I am a God of the living, not the dead. I am. Awareness is a God of the living. That is your nature, is to live, is to be fruitful and multiply. I wish above, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper. That means material. Get over it and stop capping. Stop acting like money and resources and material things don't matter. They don't mean nothing. You're more spiritual because you can't pay your light bill. You're not. You're just in the dark. Okay? Because I can guarantee you in heaven, the lights ain't out. Okay? Your service didn't get cut off. So I'm just knock that off. Okay? Prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So your soul prospers is talking about your being. Prospering is talking about your material resources and good health. Being in good state, mentally, emotionally, physically. You know, talk about mental health. You're supposed to be in good health, mentally, emotionally, physically. Prosper financially. Prosper even as your soul prospers. As a being, you're supposed to be winning. That is your default. But we've got it confused. We think losing is our default, so we're fighting to win. Instead of realizing we're already winners and just stop the cap and the belief of loss. You cut your work down by 90%. Do you know how hard it is to win in life when you think you're a loser always trying to win? Or you think everything's always against you and you got to overcome it and you got to get through it and get over it and be grateful for it, practice gratitude for it. There's people, starving people in Africa. Somebody always has it worse. Look at all the coping mechanisms we've devised. We are coping. I don't know which one is worse, coping or complaining. You ever hear somebody call you and they just complaining? And you're like, girl, look, I got to go. Then 3 weeks later, like, okay, I don't complain anymore. But then they start coping. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, aren't they supposed to? Yeah, well, you know, they don't know any better, so I think I'll just do it. Well, wait, isn't supposed to? Well, you know, I don't want to bother anybody. Then you're like, damn, I thought the complaining was bad, but the coping is that's kind of right. We are literally trying to find ways to deal with losing. But why do you think losing sucks? Because it's like being not feeling well. It's not natural. It's not your natural state. Oh, it can happen when you decide, get the bright idea that now you're going to start going this way and cut yourself off. Oh, you can, once you get down here and you put these lines up and you look up and all you see is the glass ceiling, right? When all you look up and you keep hitting your head, well, then, yeah, cut your head. Okay, well, then you go ahead. You have to understand that winning is the default. You're always supposed to be winning. What does it say? Have the victory in all things. Doesn't it say that? Man, hell the hell no. Is anybody on here? Doesn't it say that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, well, say it with your hello. Wake up. Yes, the victory in all things, not some, not just one day. That's 2 days in a row. It may be too good to be true. What does that mean?
Yes.
Said it's too good to be. Where did people come up with this? Goodness is the truth. Anybody ever think about that? Go write that down. I just can't. Man, I should just, man, I'm telling you. Goodness is the truth. You are good. That's the truth. You're not all the other things. You are good. You are goodness. You are greatness. That's who you are. That's who you are. You are what you've always been, just in physical form. Just like you're Laura before you get in your car. You're still Laura in the car, aren't you? Did Laura change because you're in a car now? Did Leanne change because you're in a car now? No. Well, then I am doesn't change because you're in a car called Leanne now. It doesn't change. We just wiped our memory and forgot in order to have this so-called human experience. We're not human. We are divinity. We are I am in a human form. We are the word made flesh. We're still her. We're still him. We're that dude. We're that girl. Like we're all the way up. We're lit like it's Christmas. It's all the way up. With the star on the top. That's you. You are. That's who you are. Stop believing that winning or victory is something you have to fight for. And just start assuming your nature, which is victory itself. Victory only, victory always. Period. You're not negotiating with victory. Hey, can I get one victory for let me get one for $5? We can't, you can't buy it. You either are it or you're not. Meaning you're either aware of being it or you're not. If you're unaware of being, you will not have it. You will not see it because you don't have it. Unaware of being means you don't have it. And if you don't have it, you won't have it. Victory is your default. Victory is your nature. Health is your nature. Prosperity and abundance and good health is your nature. Happiness is your nature. Peace is your nature. Everybody's afraid of something. I have not given you the spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind. Power, love, and a sound mind is your nature, but yet you signed up for fear because this fool decided to listen to this fool. And then they went to this fool, and now we have a collective, well, everybody's afraid of something. But I have not given you that spirit of fear. So all of you stole something, or all of you are receiving stolen goods or harboring stolen goods. You guys are porch pirates, stealing everybody's stuff. That's not you. I have not given you that. Your awareness not, what would your awareness, what would I am be afraid of? Anybody think something good? Okay, but if you introduce yourself to somebody and I say, hi, Alexis, my name is, Alexis will say, hi, I am, or my name is, well, that means you're I am too. So if I am wouldn't be afraid of anything, why are you? If I am's not stupid, why are you? If I am's not crazy, why are you? If I am's not broke, why are you? If I am's not, why are you? Why are you identifying with something that's not your true nature? If you do, what do you think you're supposed to feel like? What do you think it's going to feel like when you're not who you are? What do you think it's supposed to feel like? Just what it feels like. Where do you think stress comes from? I'd be stressed out too if I was trying to be somebody I wasn't. I'd be stressed out too if I was trying to be sick when I'm healthy. I'd be stressed out too if I was trying to be broke when I'm rich. If I was trying to be the employee when I'm the employer. If I went from creating life to making a living, that's a long way down. You want to talk about falling off? You want to talk about one hit wonder? That's a long way down from creating life to making a living. I'm just trying to get by. Trying to get by what? Get by who? Right? Sometimes we got to slow this back down to remember like what all this information that we pass out here is for. Because the stuff I give you is real and it's true. But sometimes we got to go back and make sure that we really understand reality and the truth, that you are reality and that you are the truth, and that whatever and that things are in your life as you are. Those things are a physical reflection of you. Things are as you are. That chair on that swing didn't get there miraculously, and doesn't move miraculously. And if something happens to it, it can't fix itself. Only I am can fix it. If something's going on in your life that's not working, it cannot fix itself. It's going to remain as it is until you fix it. And you can only fix it by redefining yourself in relation, first yourself, and then in relation to that thing. And every relation you have is you define by first how you define yourself. You call this person your friend because they're your friend. That means they are a physical reflection of what you think friendship is. So if you have a bad friend, you have a bad concept of one. Your concept of friendship is not correct. A chair didn't get there on his own. That person didn't get there on his own. No man comes to me. unless my father in me calls it. Anybody ever seen that in the book?
Yes.
No man, no physical experience comes into your world unless your awareness calls it, because it is calling it as a physical reflection. Hey, that's mine. Nothing got in your closet when you're out there shopping. Did you get in the car and be like, I don't know how these clothes got here? That would be silly, right? But you know what? You know what we do? We do the same thing, but it's like, but we do it almost like with drugs. We're like, officer, I don't know how this got here. You try to tell your mind, I don't know how this got it. I don't know why I'm like this. No. And just like the police don't believe you, your awareness don't either. Your awareness be like, just stop it. Knock it off. That's what it's thinking. Like, are you serious? Real seriously? Yeah. Right? You don't, these things aren't happening. These things aren't happening. This is not luck. We're not wishing. We're not gambling. That's not the nature of awareness. Awareness is omniscient, all knowing, and omnipotent, all powerful, as well as omnipresent everywhere. So you are all knowing, all powerful everywhere, everywhere you go. You are all knowing and all powerful. What could you be scared of? How could you lose? How could it not work out for you? How could it not go the way you say it goes? I am, and there is no other God. There is no other. How could it not work out for you? Who's going? Hey, so God is talking to Alexis. Alexis, hold on, wait. I ain't ready right now. Hold on. Is that going to work out? I mean, what are we talking about here? But you know what's so good about it is, even your ridiculousness is a reflection of how great you are. That you can do something this ridiculous and turn around and be like, okay, I was just kidding. I changed my mind. I'm rich now. And be rich. And be healthy. And have the best relationship ever. Have the best boss, the best friendships, the best everything. You can literally be like, man, okay, I'm good. That was fun. Man. Woo, yeah, but I'm good now. I'm good. I've had enough. That's how great you are. You can change your mind. There is no condemnation to those that are in Christ Jesus. It's never too late to change your mind. It's never late to choose something else. Ever. That's how great you are. That's how wonderful you are. That's how amazing you are. So why don't you use it to your good? You don't get any VIP seats in heaven for how long you struggled, for how hard you worked. There ain't no VIP seats there, buddy. Everybody there is a VIP. Everybody. In the heaven of your mind, don't you feel good? In the hell of your mind, don't you? You got your own private seat. Nobody can take your seat. Everybody got a first row seat. Everybody has a first row seat to the environment they're in. You looking at it just like that. Got your attention. You get to choose. 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 All right. What do we want to talk about? How are we going to make this work? How are we going to allow this to work for us? What we got?
I just want to say thank you because I am in a really tough place in my life. I've taken a lot of losses, and through the losses, it definitely made me realize like I'm not even thinking for myself. I'm just picking from what everybody told me is available, and now I'm like, this ain't it. Like, there's no way this is my life. Um, so being at the bottom, I realize how not necessarily. Okay, I'll say foolish. I realize how foolish I've thought and how low I've thought of myself and how I've believed what everybody else has said. Even though my desires say one thing, I don't necessarily trust them because I'm like, man, ain't no way I can make money doing what I like to do. Find something else. Like I haven't fully believed in myself to the capacity that my desires believe in me. Um, so I appreciate that. I needed this conversation because I'm really, really low. But I know it's just because I'm breaking off of everything that I've always thought is true. And now seeing that my truth is me, not what everybody tells me is me.
I've met when I was younger in Southern California. I've met I met Kobe Bryant probably about 5 or 6 times. And anybody who knew that person knew basketball was his thing. And everybody else and everything else was not even a distant second. There wasn't even a distance. It was just, it'd be like me trying to look up at Mars from right here. So if you want to call that a distant second, that's about where it was. But he did absolutely what he loved to do, and he made a whole bunch of them. So if you, this is I am, this is Kobe Bryant, this is I am, this is you. If I am can do that for that, why wouldn't it do it for that? This doesn't have any more than this has. This is given to this and to this. If that's why it says the Lord, the law, I am, is no respecter of persons. If one can do it, anybody can do it. Because what it's taking for one to do it, you have to. What it takes for them to do it, you have to. Your desire is just the trigger to get you to turn your attention from, to your point, from looking at them to looking at yourself. So that now you have reopened up your connection to your awareness. Because up here is where all the answers are. Down here is where all the answers come out. When you are turning a faucet, you don't see the water until you turn the faucet, right? Same thing. But you're waiting for it to hit your hand. Well, this is the faucet. You turn it, and the water comes out and hits your hand. Kobe did it. He made a whole lot of money doing exactly what he wanted to do. Nothing he didn't want to do. You can do the exact same thing. I am is doing it. It's not Kobe doing it. It's not Sean doing it. That's why it says, it's not me that does the work. It's my Father in me. That's why that book said, Jesus said that. It's not me that does the work. It's my Father in me. It's not Jesus. It's not Sean. It's not Kobe. It's not the physical body that's doing the work. The physical body is where the work is being done in, being done through. It's awareness using it. So when you become aware of, right now you're aware of, I can't do that. When you decide I can do that, you are going to do that as much as you haven't been able to do it. You only haven't been able to do it because you said I can. But that's a good thing. When I teach people how to shoot a basketball and they miss, I'm like, it's perfect. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's showing you it is doing what you do. So if you get yourself under control, the ball doesn't ever get to say no. Once you get yourself under control, you're like, oh, it's on. You're never worried about the ball anymore. You're never worried about the rim. Sometimes when I'm training some kids and we may be outside on a double rim, they're like, oh man, the double rim's hating on me. And I'll be like, don't hit it. Just hit the net then. But I know how to shoot a ball. So the rim don't, right? Like you'd be amazed that when you don't know something, how much you think all these things matter. But once you do know it, I'd be like, if the ball is flat, how are you going to place, how are you going to beat somebody if the ball is flat? Well, I'm like, if as long as the ball is flat for both of us, I'm going to win. Because they got to deal with the same thing I got to deal with. And I promise you, I know how to deal with it better than they do. Right? Like you start realizing like all the things that you thought mattered don't matter. They only matter when you don't know yourself, when you're unaware of being that thing. When you become aware of being that thing, all the things you swore matter you'll be like, what? That don't bother me. I don't care about it all. Leslie talks about her business. When I'm talking to her and we're doing our call, she's always talking about, oh yeah, like it's just what it is. Just her matter. I don't even, it's Leslie's personality is so matter of fact. She's like the Rodney Dangerfield of my life, right? She's just so matter of fact. But that's what it is. Like you become matter of fact. You're like, what I thought mattered to me does not matter. Only thing that matters is what I say. And Sean, that's the great thing for you. Only thing that you have proven that only what you say matters. Whether it's your words you use or someone else you've taken. It's great. Now literally just do the opposite. Just like, okay, well, if I have proven to myself that I can, let's just say, that I can fail, let's just say, I've proven that I have the power to fail. You also have that, but you've proven more than anything, you've proven that you are powerful. You've proven that you actually have power. So now just use it in the opposite direction. You're not low, you're high. This day has never been. How could you be low unless you bring it in yesterday? And then you want the day to change and you bring it in yesterday. How am I going to reheat food and wonder why it don't taste, wonder why it tastes the same? Did you reheat it? You didn't cook anything new. No, but it's but it's the same food. Yeah, but how come it doesn't taste different? Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to you later, right? You either get off the phone or you just walk out the kitchen. You're like, "Cause you're going through something I don't really know, right? How can it taste different if you reheat it, right? Today's a new day. You tell yourself a new thing. You have proven that you have power. You've just misused it, but you have it. That's the most important part. I think Karen and I were talking about this the other day. Sometimes we'll know to do something, we didn't do it, and we'll be like, but you know what? But I heard myself. I did recognize that I heard myself. And that's the most important thing. Because now you realize, like, I actually know. Alexis and I in Delaware were actually talking about that too. You realize, oh, but I did hear myself. And then you start to realize that's actually the most important thing, because you prove to yourself in that moment that you have the capacity, that you actually have the ability to hear and to do and to be. I just didn't use it. But if I realize I got it, then now I'm ready and now I'll use it. I don't have to wonder, will this work for me? Because I realize it's been working. I just wasn't listening. So I don't have to worry about, am I going to hear? I realize I've always been hearing, but I just wasn't listening. But now that I'm ready to listen, I don't have to worry about, will I hear? Because I've proven that I've heard. I know. So now you use that and you say, okay, I've proven that I have power. I have so much power, I destroyed my stuff. Okay, cool. But now, now I'm about to build Vegas. I'm about to come rise up out this dirt, boy, like there was never any dirt here. And you start telling yourself, I make money doing what I love to do. I make so much money doing what I love to do, I don't even know. I should just slap somebody. You just getting ridiculous with yourself. You're only talking to yourself, but you tell yourself, I make so much money doing what I love to do. Everybody loves what I have to offer, loves to pay me what I want, and loves to refer others who do the same. I make so much money doing what I love to do, I can't even take it. It's just so wonderful. That's what you start telling yourself. You telling yourself something else. You just don't like what you're telling yourself. But you believe what you're telling yourself. That's why it remains. Now you just gotta literally just hit a U-turn. Fast and furious. Just hit a U-turn. And start going back fast the other way. I am the best. I am the greatest. I make all the money doing what I love to do. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable and impossibly good. I am the best. Everybody loves what I'm offering. Everybody loves to pay me. Loves for others to do the same. I make so much money, having so much fun. It's ridiculous. That's what you start telling yourself. Whatever you tell yourself is true. That's the law. You shall declare and decree a thing, and it will come to pass. Didn't say nothing about anybody else. Whatever you desire when you pray, whatever you desire when you choose, believe you have received it. Well, to believe, who's believing? You, the believer. You believe in yourself. And you will have whatever you ask for, whatever you choose. You start telling yourself you have proven. All you got to do is flip it. You've actually proven it. Just flip it. And you will see your I am doesn't, your awareness does not condemn you. Doesn't say, well, hold on, fill out an application. Well, you know you've been poor this long. Why don't you just stay that way? Well, that's your human mind. That's all the people down here below. That's all these people are you. Your I am, all of these people are you. And when you keep listening to this and yesterday and the old person and this, you're going to stay down here. When you look up, this is like, oh, you ready? Let's do it. And you're not low, you're high. You didn't, how did you mess up? You ain't never been here today. Today's the first day. You mess up nothing. It's a brand new day. You brought in yesterday's mess up, but you didn't mess up today. You brought in yesterday's garbage. You wonder why it smells. That garbage didn't have to come with you. Right? So don't act like today was already messed up. No, you brought in. So but you can stop that too. You have everything. You're already winning. You just have to become aware of it. You are victory only, victory always. You are the power to mess up your life and to prosper your life. What does it say? I am the Lord, right? I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. I am the Lord and I do all these things. And no one can save you out of my hand. So if you can kill, you can make alive. If you can wound yourself, you can heal yourself. You don't need anybody's help. To make a choice you want to make and start identifying yourself as that choice and watch that choice blow up like it's the 4th of July. Fireworks, you be popping and cracking. You'll be like, this is on. This is amazing. That's who you are. You're not. Everybody see this? Everybody see this number? What is that?
2.
2.
2.
Okay. What's the next number?
2.
2.
2.
Isn't that funny?
2.
Isn't that funny? You still said 2. It doesn't look like it, but you can get it. So then Even if it doesn't look like it, you still say it because it's close enough, which means how it looks does not matter. Only the value matters. Only what it represents matters. You could look dusty and busted and disgusted. It does not lower your value. It does not change who you really are. It doesn't change who you are. I don't care if you have a $500,000 Rolls Royce. It's still going to get dirty like a $5,000 used car. You still got to take it to the car wash and wash it off.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. It doesn't change the value. Your value has not changed. You still are I am, the best and the greatest, and there's none ever like you, none before you, and none after. You are the best. You are the greatest. You are an expression of perfection. How could you be imperfect? Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you and called you by name. So whoever knew you and called you by name was perfect. How could they make something imperfect? Why would they do that? Why would you make yourself to be imperfect? You're not just a belief that you are. Listen to all these fools. Listen to all the people down there instead of the people up there, instead of your mind up here. But now you know what you've done. Do the opposite. You are just as valuable as you've ever been. You haven't lost value. You may not look the same. You get a car wash. You get a haircut. Right? You shine up, but your value is not dependent upon that. Still a Rolls Royce. Don't change nothing. You still are who you've always been. That's never changed. You just come back to reclaim your fame now. I'm back like the prodigal son. And what did the king do? As soon as he saw his son from far off, he ran out and hugged him and kissed him. Your awareness don't hold no grudges. It ain't your friends like that, and your cousin, and your auntie. It ain't them. Your awareness is you. You come back to reclaim your fame. I am, and I'm the best, and I'm the greatest, and I make so much money, having so much fun, and I've always been the greatest. This day has never been, so I've never been anything back then either. I've only been what I am today. That's all you can be is today. So you must be today. Be as new as today is. Talk to yourself as new like it never happened, because it didn't, unless you remember, unless you reattach your consciousness to it. Nobody can make you do that. So if you don't, guess what? It's dead. It is dead, never to return, unless you remember, unless you reattach. Don't do it. If you don't like it, pull the plug out. Lamp don't come on by itself. Right? That's how you do it. So that's awesome. It's good to see you here.
I appreciate it.
There you go. All right, what else we working on?
The thought came to me this morning, Coach. I'm trying to understand the space between selfishness and selflessness and whether either really has any value.
Neither has any value. Let me tell you why. Neither has any value because they're both self-definitions, meaning they are both whatever you tell yourself they are. Somebody could tell you they're selfish, but how do you know they're not selfish? How do you know they're not selfish? Meaning, Leslie, I want you to quit your business and move to Portugal with me. Well, if you don't do it, are you selfish? Well, for me to ask that of you, am I not? Right? Selfishness is subjective. It's a personal thing. So it doesn't exist, and to whatever degree and extent is your own definition of it. Right? So as long as it is self-defined, you'll be fine. If you let other people define it for you, you'll never win.
Okay.
You're the one that has to live. You're the one that has to pull it off. You're the one that's got to do it. You're the one that has to show up. You're the one that has to. My child's mother and I were having a conversation this week, and our daughter wanted to do something, and we said, and so she was like, "Okay, well, it's your choice. You go ahead and do it." But then when she was like, "Well, you're not going to tell me what you think," and she was like, "No, I'm okay with whether you do it or not." And so she's looking like, well, and what she had to realize is that opportunity is one thing, but responsibility for the opportunity is another. And when someone only has opportunity and no responsibility, they'll ask you for anything, or it's okay to think anything. But when you have to be responsible for this opportunity, you start having to consider some other things. I tell especially kids that I work with in the same area, I'm like, when you ask your parents for something, you have no idea how many things they have to calculate to come to 3 letters, Y-E-S, or 2 letters, N-O. So you think everything that you ask is as small as simple as yes or no, but it's not. If you ask to go to a party on Friday night, they got to think about, well, where is it? If they got, do I have to give them a ride? Where is it? How far is it? Do I have gas in the car? Do I have to get up early? Is it going to be traffic? They have to think of 50 things, but you're just standing there. And because you don't have the responsibility, you're only thinking about the opportunity. You don't have to calculate all these things. All you get is the calculation and the answer. So you think it's as simple as yes or no, but it's not. The outcome is all you hear, but you don't realize everything that had to go into that. So when we, basically said, you choose, she was like, well, I don't think I really want to do that then. Because she realized that she had to be more responsible in areas that she didn't think she had to be responsible for in the beginning. And that's just part of growing up, right? As you want your children to mature, yes, you want them to have opportunities, but you have to start rolling out responsibility with it. Because then they realize and they realize that those two go hand in hand, right? And so it's the same thing. Like whatever you tell yourself responsibility is, or selflessness is, or selfish, that's what it is, right? And you operate from there, and then you'll always be good. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it makes absolute sense. And it's I don't even know how to say this the best way, but I wanted to say it's the right answer.
Yeah, it just makes sense, right? You understand.
Yes, it's the way I would pose it to someone else is to say, do you think you're being selfish, or do you think you're being selfless? What do you think? Because that's the only way to frame it.
Because, and then Leanne, I'm coming to you because I saw something in the chat, so I want to make sure I get to you. And then Monique, I'll get to you. I say this all the time, and you have to understand it. I know it is in direct conflict with everything we've ever been told or heard or known in our lives, but I'm gonna say it to you anyway because it's the truth, and only the truth sets you free. Not comfort, not convenience, not being going along to get along, being agreeable. That's not gonna ever set you free. Only the truth does that. The truth is this: you are the most important person in your life. It's you. It's not your mom, your dad, your brother, your friend, your cousin, your kids. It's not. It's you. Because from you, everything starts. Everything starts. I am is the one on top. Everything, all of its expressions come from I am. So if I am doesn't get it, or I am doesn't have it, what is it going to do for the chairs? What is it going to do for the expressions below it? What's it going to do? What does it have to offer? If I am is insane, how do you offer expression of sanity? If you can't give what you don't have. You are the most important person in your life. What you think about you, how you think about you, what you believe is true for you, what you don't believe is true for you. That is who you are. And who you are, well, that's who you're being. And who you're being is what you're offering to the world. As a mother, as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a sister, whatever else it is. You are offering yourself. Well, yourself is who you think you are. And who you think you are is based on what you're telling yourself. So if you do not love yourself properly, don't know yourself properly, aren't thinking properly, this without the other, then what do you think you're offering? Nothing but the same external confusion that's coming from your internal confusion. All you're offering is whatever you have, right? So you have to get yourself together in order to offer anything together for something else. It is about you first. You, who am I? What am I? Am I in right thinking? Therefore, from there, I express everything. I parent from there. I coach from there. I teach from there. I espouse from there. I'm a business owner from there. I am everything. Everything is being based on its concept of itself. And if you are occupying an incorrect concept, you cannot express the proper concept, the expression of a proper one. So everything starts with you. And we have been trained the opposite. But that's why we get mad when people don't do what we want. We get mad when people don't vote for who we want. We get mad when anybody expresses different than what we want. Why? Because we feel like in order to get what we want, we have to control someone else. They have to do what we want. Well, don't you want to be free? Yeah, well, then how come they shouldn't want the same thing? Well, because if they want that, then how am I going to get what I want? That's what it is. You feel like if they do what they want, you won't get what you want. But then that means you don't understand who you are and how this works. That's why you're the most important person in your world. And when you get yourself together, from being together, you offer together, you express together, you be together, you're together, you're offering togetherness, wholeness and completion, perfection, right? So you first. All right, Leanne, I wanted to get to you. You had a question?
Yes, thank you. I was wondering ways to remind ourselves daily because we get caught up in our heads so easily. And how do we bring ourselves back to the reminder of who we are?
In that moment, reminding yourself of who you are.
Yes.
So in that moment, in that you may be in a store and you may be getting ready to buy something, you're like, ooh, you know, or you may be paying for something, you're like, ooh, I can't afford it. Who is I? Who are you thinking you are in this example? Who are you thinking you are to say that? Right? So when you catch yourself saying something that is not true of your nature, you remind yourself saying, I always have more than enough. I always have more than enough. Every day my wealth increases, right? I always have more than enough. Every time I use my money, it multiplies. You remind yourself of the truth of your nature. Who you're being may be this squiggly line in that moment, right? But generally, only young people will squiggle a line like this. But it's still the truth, but it just doesn't look like it. And you have to remind yourself, and when you remind yourself of who you are, you start to look more like this line. You remember, you mature, you look like this line. You remind yourself, you say, you know what, I always have more than enough. Or if you say, you know what, I'm running late to work, I'm going to be late. You're like, well, is God late? God is everywhere. God is omnipresent. So then there is a way. So you know what? No, I'm always on time. I'm going to get there in perfect time. Right? You bring yourself back to the truth. And the truth is, what do you want to be true? How do you want this to go for you? Because you're I am, you are the creator of all things. So then that means you have to create, meaning you have to select the thought that is going to be the idea that creates your physical expression. You bring yourself back to the truth, to what you want things to be. Right? So in that moment, you do that. But also in the beginning of the day and in the night, in the morning when you wake up, you stretch before you work out. You tell yourself how you want your day to go. You remind yourself, I am the best. I am the greatest. Everything is always working out for me. Everything I set my hand to prospers. You prime yourself. Right? A lot of times we get in trouble because when we get into a situation that's not that bad, but we're dry. We're brittle. We can't, the wind blows and we snap because there's no moisture within us. We haven't watered our consciousness. We haven't spoken to ourselves in days, right? And so we're dry. So when something comes, we snap. We don't have any flexibility. So when you wake up in the morning, you tell yourself who you are. You write down some affirmations, just thoughts. That's all affirmations are, thoughts. Write down some thoughts that you want to repeat to yourself, that you want to tell yourself, this is the day that I made and I want it to go like this. This is what it's going to be. You tell yourself that in the morning when you first wake up, before you start running your mouth. I'm saying that. Running your mouth to everybody else. Run your mouth to yourself first. Well, before you go to bed, you tell yourself how great you are, how beautiful you are, how smart you are, how funny you are, how great of a this you are, how great of a that you are. You fall asleep with that in your mind. And then you wake up saying it again the next day when you wake up. Then throughout your day, when you see an opposing thing come, you'll snap back faster. You're like, oh, nope, that ain't for me. Yes, because it'll be like a stranger. You'll be aware of it, but you won't attach yourself to it. You'll watch it walk by. You realize, oh, I see it, but that has nothing to do with me. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are your possession. So you can choose to think them or not. You're not a hostage to them. They're yours. Does that make sense? People don't tell us that. Oh, I'm anxious. I'm worried. I'm nervous. I'm depressed. Those are just thoughts that you're thinking that turn into an emotion. But they're yours. You can control them, meaning you can tell yourself something different. We've been made to think that we can't. We've been made to think that we just have to get over them, get through them, or we have to, no. They're there because they can't be alive without you. And if you say, nah, I don't want to think that, that's literally like saying, I'm not going to flip that switch. I'm not going to give my consciousness to that thought because my thought needs consciousness. It's the power source. So you get to tell yourself, what do I want to be true? If I don't want the truth of that, if I don't want that physical, all thoughts create a physical thing. Thoughts, thing. So these are thoughts. This is the thing if you keep going with it. If you see this thought and you don't want this thing, then the thought. The thought, it'll never get to this because this thought needs you to become alive. So you just be like, no, I'm not going to think that. I don't choose that. Right? So in the morning, you tell yourself things. You wake up and you tell yourself some things. In the evening, you tell yourself some things. In the middle of the day, when the opposite or anything that comes contrary to what you've been telling yourself pops up, you be like, no, that's not my friend. So I'm not going to embrace that. That's a stranger. I don't know that. I'm not going to embrace that. I'm not going to identify myself with that or as that. And then it has no life. It will die. It can't produce because you're not aware of being it. Every thought needs your awareness. Like every seed needs a soil. It needs a place to germinate. So if you don't plant the seed, it can't grow. If you keep the seed in your hand, it can't grow. It can't germinate in your hand. If you put it on concrete, it can't grow. It needs a particular specific environment, and that's your mind. Your thought needs to remain in your mind. That's why your dominant thoughts are what create your physical experience called reality. But you are reality because you are the thinker. So reality is nothing but your thoughts pushed out. So when you choose those, when you become more aware, like a good shopper at a grocery store, you're like, you go in there with a plan. I want this, this, and this. When you see something else that you never thought about, you have a choice. Do I want to put this in my cart or not? If the answer is no, then guess what? You don't walk out with it in your cart, it didn't magically get there. Does that make sense? It's the same thing. Right? You choose.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I am trying to apply it to, I have a business with a whole bunch of employees.
Cool.
And I got a couple employees that are not performing the way I want them to.
Okay.
And so it's like,
why is that?
I get caught up in, is it them that's being a certain way, or am I creating them to be a certain way? Am I allowing them to be a certain way? How do I stop it? Do I just...
How do you describe your employees?
They're very committed. They're very loyal to me. They're very hardworking.
Who is they? Is it all of them?
Yes, all of them in various degrees.
Is somebody loyal to you in various degrees?
They're all very loyal to me, but they all work very differently. Some I feel like I have to drag, and others are.
Are you happy with everyone's work?
In general, yes.
Is anybody
I'm really, really happy with some and not so happy with others.
Are you happy with your willingness to put up with everybody's efforts?
No.
If you had to describe them in general to a room full of people, would you be happy with the description that you come up with? Could you say, all of my employees show up with 100% every day? All of my employees put forth their best effort. All of my employees, all of your employees fit a model, and anybody that doesn't fit that model falls off.
See, I do believe that they show up with their best effort and that we're an amazing team. We do incredible business. It's a couple of them work very slow compared to what I'd like them to be. And a couple work really fast. So I get caught up in, 15 of them are great and 5 of them,
Do you need
not
the 5?
so much. Yeah.
Okay.
You do?
That's what I'm
so you're
50-50 about.
You've already answered your own question.
Yeah.
You don't need them, but you struggle with you need to let them go. You're holding on to what is not the thing that is feeding the whole team. And you're making the basket of apples less profitable because everything's going to start to get rotten, holding on to the things that aren't performing well.
I'm holding on to my belief in their potential, but they're not performing at their potential.
Just like Lucky said, a seed has a potential to be a tree, but it has to be planted in the right soil.
So my mom always says, you can't get something else holding on to what you have, right? If you're unwilling to die to the old, you can't get the new. If something is not working for you, you're not obligated to keep it. You redefine it in your mind, and if you don't want to do that, then you let it go. But you redefine it. See, every opportunity gives you a chance. Every specific thing gives you an opportunity to create a general standard. So now, what it sounds like to me, number one is, and that's why I let Leslie speak, because she has a business just like you do, and she has employees just like you do. So she has to make the same decisions you're making. Number one is, it sounds like number one, first you need to redefine your standard. When you say employees, what does that mean and how? There is no some do and some don't. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing. That's like some of my kids listen to me and some of them don't. Like that's not a real thing. If you're the parent, everybody should be listening. Does that make sense? That's not a functional thing, right? And especially not in your business, because your business is an expression of you. So if you want certain parts of your body to work but not others, what parts are okay not to work? You want your legs to work but your arms to not? You want your eyes not? Like what are we like? But this is where we get into our humanity, where we start reasoning. We start. That's what Leslie is saying. Like you're reasoning the dark. You're rationing something trying to rationalize something is not working, and that's okay. But what we're both trying to say to you is, number one, really don't do that. But number two, you don't have to. You don't have to. If those are not working for you, then now you tell yourself, I have all the greatest employees, all my employees, all of them work, and I'm happy with everyone's work all the time. You redefine your standard for everyone, not just a perfect, not it may the impetus may be a particular person, but the impetus allows you to create a standard, because you don't want to have to be looking at this person and that person and this person. You want to walk in and everybody is the same way. Yes, they're all different people, but they get the same result. Everybody is working to my standard. You're not talking to them, you're talking to you first. You're always talking to you first, and you are negotiating with yourself on their behalf, and they're getting the benefit of you negotiating with yourself. You are allowing yourself to let them be what they are while you don't like it. But they're not asking you to do that. You're doing that. But you're doing it with you. I asked you, and you're like, yeah, they all are. Then we asked you again, you're like, but no, they're kind of not. Like, right? You are hemming and hawing, and they are working and sleeping. They're literally the physical reflection of you. The indecisiveness, the lack of certainty, the lack of, right? The part of you that is that, you're seeing in some. The part of you that isn't, you're seeing in others. They both reflect you, right? They're both, aren't you all of their boss? So they gotta all be you. So then you get a chance to redefine the whole thing now. Employees. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna write down employees, and you're gonna create a standard for employee. Not a particular person, I don't care, not for anyone you have right now necessarily. Just a standard for employee. When I say employee, this is how they work. It doesn't matter if they're men, women, dogs, cats, birds, it doesn't matter. That is what it is. Employee is this. My business goes like this. Whether it's I make this much money, or whether it works like this, or it's so easy, I have so much fun, just like Sean, I have so much fun making so much money doing what I love to do. You're gonna start setting just general standards that this is the way my experience goes with this person, or with this group of people, or with this thing called business, or whatever else it is. They are not content. Let the people go, because then you'll start rationalizing things based on behavior, or you'll start thinking that this is super good, but another person, you don't want them to do that. What do you want? The outcome. That's what Leslie is talking to you about. How do you want to define or describe this experience called employee you have? Get a standard for yourself, and do not condition it upon who you have currently. Make it your own. It's not about anyone, it's about everyone. I don't care who's doing it. This is the outcome of it. They can all have different ways to express themselves, but the outcome is the same. You are happy with your concept called employee. Then you look at, what is your concept of business? Who am I as a business owner? How would I describe myself as a business owner? How would I describe my business? How would I describe my clients? Because guess what? They're all physical reflections of you. They're all things that you are creating to have an experience with. You are creating your business. You are creating your customer or client, whichever one you want to say, your business, your client, your employees, the business experience itself. You are the creator. All of those are just expressions coming off the ride of business. They're coming off the ride. So you have to define and describe for yourself. And from there, you start telling yourself, this is what my business is, this is how my clients work, this is how this is. And you'll start to see those things expressed. And to Leslie's point, your awareness will move things in and move people out in ways you would never imagine. But it's doing it because it's saying, oh, I have to rearrange this physical structure because I'm now aware of being something different. You rearrange everything from the top. The chair doesn't make decisions. The top makes decisions. But yes, you're the boss, but the boss of the boss is what you're thinking. This is your boss, and you are their boss. It trickles down, so to speak, like cascading. First, get in your mind your image. What is my business about? What is it like? How does it do? How is it doing? How are my employees? How am I? How is my money? Do all of it. And all of these things will shoot out physical expressions. The employees, everything, every employee that you have will represent this. Every bit of money, how you make it, if you make it, when you make it, is representing this. You have to get this right. This right. It is the one that's governing everything. You think you're fighting with a person. Yeah, you are, but you're fighting with a mind. Yeah, but in your business, it's your business, which means no one thinks what they think. They think what you think.
That's it.
They're thinking what you're thinking. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. Because just like you're negotiating with me, they're negotiating with you.
Yep.
I was getting tangled up in my individual relationship with each employee. Some are great, some are not, but I got to go back to the general.
Yes.
Have a relationship with what you want as an employee first.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And then when things start happening for people to go away, don't lean into, oh, but I like you so much, and maybe we could do this, or maybe we could do that. No, go enjoy your life. Let them go, because that's God's working on your behalf, saying, okay, we're going to make them fall in love with this guy over here, and they're moving to Colorado. Go.
Literally how it works, right? It'll move everything out that doesn't reflect you, because that's what your life is. It's a physical reflection of you. Like the canvas is a physical reflection of the painter. If the painter changed the paint, the canvas has no choice.
I have a painting company. It's amazing that you just say that. We paint houses. It's all about the painter.
It's all about the painter, right? The house can't be like, I'm not really into yellow. The house don't have no choice. Your employees don't have any choice. You're giving them a choice, but that starts with you in your mind. That's what she said. Get a relationship as a standard with employee. Employee to you, Leanne, means what? You have to define that. You don't let other people define it. If you do, that's what you're going to get. This person has their idea. That person has their idea, because you don't have an idea, right? So you got to take what you can get. If you're homeless, you can't be vegan. You got to take what somebody going to give you. You were vegan when you had a choice, but not if you don't have any food at all, right? It's the same thing. So yes, that was a great question. That's how you do it. Do it with everything. Do it with your business. Do it with your employees. Do it with how much money you make. Do it with your relationships. You set a standard of, this is how my relationship with this expression is. Employee or husband, spouse, or brother, sister. You have, but all of those things that you're setting as standards first come from your self-concept. Because of who you believe you are, this is the standard you're willing to set. So make sure that you are who you want to be first.
And reaffirm my standard.
Yes.
Morning and night and throughout the day.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Keep coming back to it. Keep coming back to it. It's almost like 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2 is 4. Until now you just know it's 4. But you drilled it at first, because you had to become familiar with the concept. You had to become familiar with the truth that you now are. I now have the best employees ever. Whatever your standard is, you now identify yourself as that standard and with that standard. So like, let's just say whether they move the next day or whether they come in the next day and act a pure fool. But that doesn't matter. If you need to send them home, but you don't change what you say to yourself. You say whatever you need to say to them, but you don't change in here. So you send them home. Well, that's not going to work. You're late, 3rd day in a row. You need to go home. But you all right, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll call you or whatever. You're on probation, whatever. But when you turn back around and you go in your office, you take a deep breath. I have the best employees ever. Whatever your standard is, you repeat it. And that moment is where you really have to repeat it. Because in that moment is dark. And you have to still have the ability to say, let there be light in that same place, in that same moment. This is what it is. And I believe it, so I will see it. This is what it is. I will hold fast to my profession of faith without wavering, for my awareness is faithful to that promise. I'm not a man that I should lie. I'm not a mind that I should lie, nor a son of man that I should repent. Meaning give up and change your mind. Your awareness does not come back until it fulfills everything. Your word does not come back to you void, but accomplishes all your good pleasure and prospers unto the place whereunto you sent it. Your word does not come back to you void. So when Sean was, ask Sean if her word came back to her void. When she was talking about, man, I was talking crazy to myself and look what I got. Yeah, your word is ruthless. It is relentless. It's the thing that creates worlds. It is what you say it is. So when you say, I got my victory and I got my justice, like my girl over there is talking about, and she knows what I'm talking to, like that's what it is. Your word is what it is, and it is ruthless. And it does not come back to your void, but it accomplishes what you said. You sent it out, and it's what it is. And you don't change it unless you want something else. But if you don't want something else, don't change it. Like let's say people will move in ways you would never imagine. Your imagination, your awareness has ways and means you know not of. Your mind can't conceive, doesn't know who woke up with a headache today or who stubbed their toe. Your awareness does. So it's moving everything. Your physical world is always readjusting itself according to what you're believing yourself to be. Because it is the physical expression of who you're being. Not what you want, not what you like, but who you're being. Who you're being. And right now, you're being some kind of hostage negotiator. And guess who the hostage is? It's you.
You.
It's you. You are your own hostage negotiator.
You
And
put
taker.
your
got
own
your
self
own
in jail.
right? Yeah. You created your own jail. You've created your own thing. And everybody else is living their life.
100%.
Yeah, I'm too scared to hurt their feelings.
Right? But you haven't been given a spirit of fear. And you're assuming that you're going to hurt their feelings. You're making your own assumptions. You're telling yourself a story, like Veronica loves to say. You're telling yourself a story. Why don't you tell yourself differently? Tell yourself one that works for you, not the one that works against you.
100%.
One that works for your business, not the one that keeps your business messed up or not functioning the way you want. Because God has got a prosperity and success. That's like having 3 wheels and a spare tire. How long are you going to keep that? Well, the tire, it is a tire. I don't want to take the tire off. I want equality. What? The tire is not equal. It's a spare. They're not working. They are. Right? So you get to choose. You don't have to settle for anything. You don't settle for part-time and 75% work or workers. You are I am. You are perfect, whole, and complete. So should your business, every expression. Flawless, lacking nothing.
Yeah. And turn it around on yourself. Just say, I give people the opportunity to live the life they want.
And watch it work.
100%.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. Perfect.
I needed that little pep talk.
Wonderful. So, yeah, handle it. You're in charge. But handle it here first. Here first.
Yeah.
And everything comes from there. You don't have to wrestle with people, argue with people. You don't have to WWE people. Go from here. And it's smooth. Your awareness knows how to, where it knows that I am. There's only one God in all, above all, and through all. There's only one consciousness. It may look in different forms. Only one electricity, but a TV, a computer, a cell phone, lamps. Yeah, they all look different in expression, but they're all powered by one thing, electricity. There's only one consciousness between you and all of humanity. Right? And so when you define yourself as something else, then that means your reality has to morph itself into, oh, okay, she's being this. Well, this person's not going to work. Let me take this out. Now, okay, let me bring this person in because they're perfect for who she's thinking. So there are people out there waiting. Your awareness, there's people out there waiting to do what you want done. But they're waiting on you. You just don't know they exist, so you don't know they're waiting. But they're waiting on you. Right? Yeah. You have all your resources available. They're all here right now. Swap out the part. But just do that in your mind. It'll be perfect. Right?
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Monique.
Man, that was so good. I think I forgot. I wanted to talk to share with Sean. Like, I know that feeling of giving everybody access to your mind and allowing other people to speak over your life and just being in a position where you don't even know who you are because you're waiting for somebody to tell you. I'm talking about myself. You're waiting for somebody to confirm that your thinking is the right thinking based on who they think you are. But I set some boundaries for myself that I just wanted to share. And it doesn't mean you have to take it on, but I just want to share what worked for me. First and foremost, I stopped taking calls from the loud voices. from the people who thought, oh, you need to be doing this or you need to be doing that. I just stopped answering the phone. Or I would text if I felt like I was being rude. I would text, hey, I can't talk right now. I'll call you back later. And when I did call them back, if they start talking junk, I would either change the subject or say, hey, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Another thing that I did was I stopped sharing my vision with blind people. If God gave me the vision, I'm not going to share it with them to see what they think because they have no idea what it's not their vision, it's not their mission, so to speak. So I just stopped talking to people about what I thought and what I was set to do. And another thing that I do daily is I spend time with myself every morning. Like I want to date myself and I want to love on me. I want to know more about who I am. And the only way you get to know more about a person is to spend time with them. So I make sure that I set a minimum of 10 minutes every morning just to sit with myself and whatever it is that I'm reading, just any of those things. And lastly, I write reminders on my mirror so that when I come and I sit at my desk and I look at my mirror, I can't miss that I'm an alchemist and my circumstances don't matter. And let there be, because I have the power to say so. My life is a pottery clay. I get to create my life or design the things that I want. So, and another thing, lastly, since I joined these calls, I put down the wine glass. I was an avid fan of Cabernet Sauvignon, right? A lot. I would be inebriated. I'm being vulnerable here. I had your share, my share, everybody's share on this call, right? I put it down. I have no desire for it because it takes me out of it just took me out. And I just didn't want it anymore. And I had struggled with that for a very long time. But now that I know who I am and I continue to work on who I am and who I'm becoming, even on Tuesdays, coach, I just don't desire to have that taste. So I get to go to the bar with my friends and have a cranberry juice and not worry about maybe I should have a little bit of something in this juice. I'm just not worried about it. And I don't care. I don't give a flying Watusi what anybody thinks about me. I know who I am. You either take it or you leave it. And if you leave it, that's okay. I still love you. I'll see you later. I just wanted to share that.
That was awesome.
I appreciate that. That's exactly where I am in my life. Like the voices of other people are so loud in my head that I can't even hear myself. And then when I hear myself and I want to move in it, I feel like I'm going crazy because I'm like, you can't do that. That sounds crazy. Like, remember what they told you was, so like stepping out of that box and just being the only one to believe what I believe is hard for me because I can't see it. So I'm only going by a vision that I have and trying to share my vision with people and trying to get them to understand it so I can move in it and give myself permission. It's not working. Like I failed in everything, because I just did life like everybody else told me. And it's my life now. And it's like, this ain't the life I wanted. Ain't no way it's supposed to be me. So I appreciate
Mm-mm.
that.
No, sister, go, and go by
Lord,
yourself.
you are
Go by
all that
yourself.
in a bag of chips.
Yep.
Period.
You
Period.
Yep.
are
Period. Period.
Go.
powerful.
Period.
Go and go by yourself because he will never leave you or forsake you. And he gonna put people in your path that are gonna
Period.
pick you up and see your vision. But you can't take those people with you because they're heavy. Leave everybody where they are and go. Please.
I appreciate it.
And what I'll say to you, even on the same plane, because what you guys are saying, you guys are on a whole nother level. So I'm not gonna try to get to that. It was awesome and it's wonderful. And why I want to say that what Monique and everyone is telling you is true is because it's not that you're alone, actually. It's you have to understand your true nature. When God created the heavens and the earth, who was there? Think about it. Who was there? There was no God created the heavens and the earth alone. There was no one there. So it's not that you're not. It's not that you're alone. Your true nature is you're the creator of everything. So everything comes after you. Everything starts with you. You're the creator. Your nature is to create. So the things that you want to see can't be there. It's not that it's not that you're alone. They just can't be there if you're unwilling to create. Everything that you would have comes from you, comes from your creation. Your true nature is you are the creator. You're not alone. You are everything. You're all that is. There is no other, right? So believing in yourself really is just believing in your nature. You are made in the image and likeness. The nature of you is to create. The nature of you is to have a thought and produce it in the physical form. The nature of you is to declare and decree and say, let there be light, and it is. The nature of you is good and is great. Who is better than God? Who is better than I am? Who's better than that? Who's greater than that? That's what I meant when I said imposter syndrome. How can we be imposters if we're all coming from who defines or decides who an imposter is? Who has a right to tell you who's here and who shouldn't be when we all came from the same place, right? It's like if we had if we had like one of those old big families and there's 12 of us, brothers and sisters, like your brother and sister say you shouldn't be here. How we got the same parents? Like you here just like me. Like how am I imposter and you real? Based on what? Right? No, you are I am. You're all that is. You are the creator. And the reason you have your ideas is because you created Sean to do things that no one else but Sean could do. You created an aspect of yourself physically that no one else could do. So if you don't do it, it doesn't get done. And all of us miss out on who you're being. You can't be Leanne. So then, and you didn't want to be Leanne. You wanted to be Sean. I am wanted to be Leanne. I am wanted to be Sean. I am didn't want Sean to be Leanne or Leanne to be Sean. Otherwise, I am would have just made one and not two. You are unique. You are who you are. And there's no one like you. Never has been, never will be. You are unique as today. No one can ever say, man, we doing today again? No, we've never been here. Oh, Sean is like no one. Like today, never been here. Meaning there's never been anyone like you. And so when Monique and everyone is telling you to go on and go forward with who you are, it's true. Because there's no one else you can go forward as. And that's the best thing to go forward as. Because from perfection, you created Sean. So Sean is perfect. From perfection, you created. So how can you create imperfect? Right? That's who you are. Right? So it's wonderful to have these calls. And there's so many people, men and women. There's so many people you can reach out to in these calls. You can share your number in the chat if you want to speak to Monique or anyone else. There's so many people who we've all shared on this story. I remember the people on here will tell you it was about a year ago, 2 years ago, when I was talking about my daughter's experience and I was crying on the call. They'll tell you because I'm living this experience like everyone else. And I've had my things, but that's why I talk the way I do now. That's why because this is not a service. This is not like no pastor suit, right? This ain't no Sunday sermon where I take this off and I go out and do something else. Most of you guys have seen me in public. They'll tell you if I was a fraud or not by now. They would let you know. They've seen me when I expected to see him, didn't expect to see him, where. No, I'm living this just like everyone else, right? So all of us have shared our experiences to help each other, encourage each other, and to remind each other of who you are, right? And just because the number is a little squiggly doesn't mean the value has gone. You are still as valuable as you ever were. So hop in the shower, wipe the dirt off. It's all right. You still are who you are. A Rolls Royce still is a Rolls Royce, right? A little dirt on it didn't change nothing, right? You still are great. And it's never too late. And all things work together for good. All things work together for good to those to your awareness. If you are just willing to say, I am who I want to be now and start from there. Never too late, ever. Right?
I thank you.
Listen, I'm going last, even with a hoarse voice. I'm going last because I'm about to bring it all home. You got me messed up. This call was so lit. This was so live. It's Scorpio season. I want all the Scorpios to cut up. Y'all showing out. This is how you close out y'all
I'm a
season, okay?
Sagittarius, by the way. So
This is how, listen, it ain't about Sagittarius right now. Y'all dope, but it ain't about y'all. Monique, I want to send love to Vero. I want to send love to Toya. Shout out to all the Scorpios because we wouldn't be here. Most of us would not be here right now if it was not for Vero. We have to give Vero her flowers. She needs to be fulfilled with love. Listen, Coach Lucky, we rock with you, but you wouldn't be in our lives if it wasn't for Vero. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Happy birthday, Toya. I love y'all so much. This call was so impactful. My son was spending the night with a friend, but he still logged on. I didn't have to remind him or anything. He knew the value. I have beautiful, healthy, wise children, and I speak that. I spoke that before I saw it. I spoke that. And I just get to reap the benefits. So, Leanne, that message goes to you. Speak it. Speak it. Even if it doesn't make sense, just speak it in your mind and it'll come to pass. Sean, I don't know you. Y'all work with me. My voice is different this week. Work with me. Sean, I don't know you, sis, but I love you. Okay? I'm the femininity fairy. That's all you need to know. I don't know you, sis, but I love you and I respect you. Brother Timothy Hunter, I heard your story and I want to connect with you. I'm happy. I love this space. This is I want to say this is my favorite community, but I got my own community. Coach Lucky, you out here doing the damn thing, brother. Every week, you out here doing the thing. And this is what I really wanted to get to. This is what I really wanted to share. Coach Lucky have haters, which is really a backwards fan, right? A backwards fan. It doesn't make sense for anybody to hate on Coach Lucky. How could you hate on Coach Lucky? It don't make sense. I don't understand that. But what I do want to understand is in my kindness, in my willingness to share this community with others, some people don't receive the information. And these are good people. These are not toxic people. They're good people because I'm surrounded by healthy people, good people, protective people. They all have my best interest. But sometimes people don't understand their gifts and their powers. And so they look at people like Coach Lucky and they think that, that there's some sort of confusion or toxicity involved. And I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I am forever dedicated to spaces like this because one day Coach Lucky is going to transition and the movement has to continue. So I want to understand how to embrace because I'm quick to cut people off, but I don't think that I'm supposed to just cut everybody off because I can easily cut a person off. But I don't think that because I'm surrounded by good people who have my best interest, I don't think that the message for me is to just keep cutting everybody off, Sparkle Bailey. So I'm trying to understand because I just cut somebody off yesterday. I just cut somebody off last night. Like, yo, don't reach out to me no more. We're good. I'm good on you. I wish you the best. I don't want anything negative to happen in your life, but you can't keep coming at my dog. Like, you can't keep coming at my dog. Like, I've invited everybody and their mama into this space. And even through the call today, I'm inviting more people. Y'all should join, get in here. This is where you need to be, inviting children, all kinds of people. But when people start throwing slugs, the old me would get physical. If you disrespect me, and to my face, I would get physical with you. That didn't work for me. I learned a lot of hard lessons operating that way. So I became the femininity fairy to tone that down and operate in my softness. So it's in the spirit of my softness and my gifts. I'm asking, how do I process people who are not yet ready to receive the truth? They're confident in their own truth, but their truth does not get them the outcome they desire. Here I am with all the answers, and I'm happy to help my people. But when you hate on my dog, like it's a problem. Like, how you gonna hate on Coach Lucky? I don't understand that. That's my question.
Like I said before, you are the most important person in your life. I love myself enough to not care what anybody thinks. But what that means is I can look myself in the mirror and I love myself enough where I wouldn't mistreat anyone on here or lie to anyone on here, or I would not do anything inappropriate to anyone because then I couldn't look myself in the mirror and see what I wanted to see or be who I wanted to be. So it doesn't matter to me what people think because people have a right to think what they want to think. I love myself and what I'm doing and what I stand for and what I believe in as I'm continuing to grow enough where I'm free to give people their freedom. That's why on here, I don't require us to buy a t-shirt or sit in a certain way. That's why I encourage people to participate. That's why, because I'm not on here trying to brainwash anyone. I'm not trying to, right? So it doesn't matter to me if people want to have, it doesn't bother me if people think what they want to think, right? In life, people, if they want to think what they want to think, that's okay. We want to think what we want to think. We allow people to have that same freedom because we're comfortable in who we are. When we're not comfortable in who we are, it bothers us when other people don't think the way we think or think what we think. And but we don't want to have to think like them any more than they want to have to think like us in that moment. So we allow them the same grace to think what they think because of how important it is for you to be able to think what you want to think, right? So I love me or what I'm thinking enough to allow people to love themselves and what they're thinking. And if those two things don't go together in the moment, that's okay. People, I used to think a whole lot of stuff that I don't think now. So I can imagine other people doing the same or feeling the same. I think to me, it just doesn't bother me when other people want to think what they want to think because that's their right. But I love what I'm thinking about me so much or what I'm thinking about that it just doesn't bother me. It's like you feel free to think what you want to think. I think when we get to a place, and I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just trying to answer your question, but I'm answering it from my perspective. I'm saying that my opinion or belief on it is when you love who you are, what you're doing, what you stand for, what you think. When you are in that place for you, it feels so good that you allow other people the same grace to be where they are. And if those two things don't merge at the moment, it's not necessarily about cutting people off, but you do have the right to protect yourself from things that are not good, right? So if somebody's harming you or they get on the phone, they just start talking crazy all the time or yelling and screaming, or they're always, they're just not acting appropriately, then you have a right to separate yourself or distance yourself from anything that's not good to you or good for you. And especially when you are not causing that yourself. You're not on the phone doing this or doing that. You have a right to do that to protect your peace. That is your right, right? If you're the most important person in your life, you have to protect yourself properly and appropriately. And that's not just physically, but that's mentally, emotionally, and things like that. So you give people the same right and the same space to believe what they like, believe what they want, who and in what, as the space you want for yourself. And when you are so comfortable with you and you are comfortable with what you stand for, it doesn't bother you when other people say what they say or think what they think because no one's opinion matters to you more than your own. But you also realize that you are honest with yourself. Are you really doing what you say? Are you really standing for what you stand for? Can you really look yourself in the mirror and be proud and that is the litmus test I use as a father. Can I look myself in the mirror and be proud about how I show up as a father every day or as a this every day? And if I can, then I do. I stand on it. If I can't, then I make the adjustment. I'm like, I probably should have went and did this yesterday, or I probably should have, and I make the adjustment. But saying all that to say, when you love yourself and when you love who you are, when you love what you stand for, when you're at peace with yourself, the chaos of the outside world, the noise of the outside world doesn't bother you. You may hear it, you may see it, but it doesn't bother you. It doesn't make you upset at anybody. You just realize that they have a right and the freedom to exercise what they think just as much as you appreciate your own. And you let people be what they are. And they'll come to their own truth in due time, right? They'll come to where they are, but you have a right to make sure that your relationships are healthy and happy and appropriate for you, like they are for everyone else. That's important. Like when Leslie talked about selfishness or selflessness, those are all self-defined things. Nobody can tell you really what you are or because they can't tell you really who you're being on the inside. So a lot of times people say things so they want you to do what they want you to do, or a lot of times people try to define you because it makes them comfortable for them. Their their definition of you is comforting to them. And when you have your own self definition, that doesn't always work for everyone else. But that's okay. You be happy being you. When you're happy being you, other people's unhappiness with you doesn't really matter all that much. It just doesn't disturb your peace the way it is or does when you're not really happy with you. When you're trying to appease other people in inappropriate ways. When you know you're doing the right things and you're being the right things, you're okay with it, right? That doesn't matter, whatever. And then you have a right to protect that space. And if people were in there, you wouldn't let people, you cut people off, meaning you kick people out your house if they're standing on the couch, right? If they're lighting a fire in your bathtub, there's certain behaviors you can't let in you, right? In your sacred space. You'd be like Martin, throwing them out. So there's certain things that you kind of may have to distance yourself from, or certain people, if it's too wild. But otherwise, if it's just disagreements, everybody have their own beliefs and opinions. Shoot, allow people to have them. It's what makes them them, and it's what allows them to come to the truth in their own ways and own time. I'm not on here telling everybody how to live. That's not what we're on here doing. As far as just I'm telling you how to think so that you can live the way you want to live. Right? I'm not telling you, Leanne, I don't really think that's, I don't really mean a painting. What do you mean? I don't care what you want. I just want you to have it. Right? So we're here allowing everybody to be them. I allow you to be you. I just want you to be the best of you. Right? And I don't know what that is. Only you know what that is. But when you're clicking in your highest mind, then you'll be able to see it. Right? So you allow everybody that same grace. It's all good. Everybody's good. It's all good. So
Thank you, Coach. I was quick. I cut them off. I'm quick to cut someone off as a protective measure. But I also I because of these calls, I started attracting people who are very protective of me. So I know that I'm surrounded by quality persons. And so I don't mean to flex like, I just flick somebody out of my life. I don't mean that. I love everybody. If I say I love you, I love you. And so a part of me feels like, fix that conversation, but also keep your standards. Maintain your standards for your own peace.
You don't have boundaries, you don't have a relationship. Any
Yeah.
relationship requires boundaries. Any.
Yeah.
Mother, son, father, daughter, it's not personal. Any and all relationships require boundaries. If you don't have any, you don't have a relationship. You're either the slave or the slave owner, so to speak. You're the dictator or is being dictated. Every relationship, all relationships have boundaries, and you have to have the ones that are most appropriate for you. Because otherwise, if you can't tell people who you are, or they can't tell you who they are, you again don't have a relationship, right? You have to allow people to be who they are until they want to be something else. But if who they want to be at the moment doesn't align with who you want to be, then it's best to create a little separation, right? That allows you both to be who you want to be. It doesn't mean you're mad. It doesn't mean that you're even right and they're wrong. It just allows you both to be able to live and be responsible for your experiences. And that's all it is. And it's always all good. As long as you can look yourself in the mirror and be happy, that's what you have to be able to get to, right? Other people's happiness can't matter more than your own. And it doesn't when you're doing it right. But when you're doing it right, everyone else is able to be happy because that's what you're giving. They're getting happiness from you because you're happy. You're happy. So when Leanne goes into the office and she's in a good mood, doesn't everybody get the benefit? Right? When she's in a bad mood, everybody's running. It's like when our parents, you wake up and you see your parents, and they're like, get in the room, go back in the room, man. It ain't working. Right? Like it all comes from you. So when you're happy and you can look yourself in the mirror and you're happy, then that's all you're giving off is happiness. Right? So it doesn't matter if somebody else is unhappy. That's their problem. They're not their problem, but that's their right. That's their experience. Let them have it. Right? And you get to keep because it doesn't take from you and you don't have to give up yours.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Can I just real quick? I'd like to just say, following on with Sparkle's questions and comments, the one thing I've learned most recently, especially, is the destination is the goal. The path is not. So when you look at other people, the way they're getting to the thought process that you have may not be the way you went or the way that you would prefer them go, but it's their journey to the same place.
That's why we don't have to judge because everybody's journey, everybody's path is different, right? We just have a right to protect ourselves and our own thing. That's fine. But that's why I would say I'm far less judgmental and critical, but I'm less tolerant, which means I don't tolerate certain things because I understand the outcome of those things. Whether you mean it or you not, or you don't, I realize that like I'm not judging you for turning the wrong way, but I'm less tolerant. I'm going to stop you and say, oh, we went the wrong way. I'm not mad at you, but we went the wrong way. I can't love you so much that we're going to get lost, right? That's not love, right? For you or me. Now we're an hour out the way, and I could have told you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. Like, no, that's not reality either, right? So it's I'm not mad at you for turning the wrong way. I'm not judging you, but I just realized like, oh, maybe you turned the wrong way, or oh, you're not ready, you're not here yet. You're on your own path, and that's okay. I was on my own path. right? I'm still walking down my path. So I'm talking the most. That doesn't mean I know everything, so to speak. I'm not here talking over everybody like I'm the only one who knows anything, right? I'm just talking the most. But all of us are coming here. We're all awakening at different times. Leanne wasn't here 6 months ago necessarily, or Christina or Timothy. So everybody is showing up on this call. Everybody is showing up in life, right? As they awaken. Everybody's time is different, right? And so we have to just remember that we had our own time and our own path. And we have to let them walk theirs like we walked ours. Our parents probably thought we were crazy as hell when we were 15 and 16. And looking back, we probably were. But there's certain things they just had to realize they're not 30 yet. They don't know. Now that we're 30, we're like, what was I thinking? Right? And your parents are trying to tell you the same thing, but you just weren't there yet. Right? So some of it's just the grace to allow people to be them like we were allowed to be us. Right? And like Leslie said, everybody will get there in their own time. It's all.
I concur.
Yes. And Timothy, it's good to see you. I don't know you, but good to see you. Christina, thank you for coming back. It's good to see you. Priscilla, I don't think I've ever met you either, but I'm glad you're here. Dr. Velvet, I'm glad you're here. Thank you all for coming. And this is everything we do here is to point you back to yourself. It's not about you having any allegiance to anything or anyone outside of yourself. It's to point you back to you. It's to get you to kind of like Monique, to sit down a couple minutes, a couple different times a day, and get to know yourself, have a relationship with yourself, get to know you, your true nature as who you are, and then and all this fear and all the fear and all the worries and all the doubt and stuff will go, because you'll realize that's not your true nature. It's not your true nature. What is I am afraid of? How is I am lost? How is I am sick or afraid? How is I am? That's who you are. And the more you get to know yourself, the more comfortable you'll feel being you. Right? You won't feel the need to appease or please in ways that are antithetical to who you're being, to who you are, to who you know yourself to be. You'll be comfortable being you. You'll realize that, hey, I made this physical form to do something. So I was perfect when I made it, and I'm perfect here. You are still the same thing, right? And it's just coming back to that remembrance of that, as a lifestyle. That's all it is. Just coming back to that remembrance, bringing yourself back to know I'm source. I'm all that is. Everything is the way I say it is. No, I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I am love. I am prosperity. I am abundance. I am health. I am, right? I am. That's who you are. Everything else is what you're doing, being, or having. So that's wonderful. All right, everyone. Well, hey, I've held you hostage long enough. Thank you for staying with me, because as you all know, I can run my mouth forever. So, but thank you all for coming. Leanne, thank you for your question. Thank you, everyone, for your questions, participation. Last thing I'll say, that's why I want you to participate. That's why I want you, because this is about us all. This is about you participating so that you can clarify your own journey. You can be more clear about who you are. All of your answers are in here. Everything we do here is just to point the mirror back for you to look at yourself and decide who you want to be, what you want to be, how you want things to be. It's always about you, always. So that's what we do here. Everything is about you, so that you can get to know yourself, know thyself, be true to thyself. And the more you do that, you win. You win. And the more you'll see the victory, the glory, the honor, the joy, the peace, the success, the abundance, the health, the prosperity, the victory only, the victory always, by choosing your mind and choosing your life, and changing your mind and changing your life. Like, that's what we do here, right? So it's wonderful. Yep, come back next week. We'll be here cracking and popping again like we always do. If you ever want any extra help, you don't need it, but if you ever want any extra help, you can reach out to Veronica online, and we can work together, whether it's in a small group or one-on-one. That's up to you. I always tell everybody you don't need it. My job is to get you to remember who you are. Once you do that, you pop. But if you ever need any extra help or work, then you can reach out, and I'm more than happy to do that. Besides that, happy Saturday, everyone. Thank you all for coming from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate being able to run my mouth with you all. Thank you all for coming. Feel free.
But it's all good, Coach. And I think this is one time I can truthfully say I disagree with you. Wow. I need it. Thank you.
You will until you won't. That's the goal, is to get you there. All right. Then you realize one day, like, I don't need that food, right? You know, so to speak, right? Right, but all those things, right? Also, it's good, man. And feel free to invite anybody you know. As always, it's all good. And have a great week. Remember on Tuesday what we talked about today. Remember on Tuesday, keep your mind up, not this way. All those people here just like you, they trying to figure it out just like you. It's high school. Everybody's acting like they cool, trying to figure it out at the same time, right? Everybody's crazy, right? So you're right, up, in, I am, in. That's where all your answers are. That's where all your health is. That's where everything is. So love you all, appreciate you all, respect you all. Have a great day, great week, and I'll see you all next week.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you all.